Okay, I'm already starting, and I'm starting with Kelly for Harry Potter. Did you get? Oh, you guys have a
Oh,
lot.
literally no. We don't. I
have-
don't have any because
we
you
have-
were down, bitch.
It's my fault. I was
I have
excited.
Harry
One
Potter.
time that I don't have any
Ooh.
Harry Potter update.
Matt
I'm
did watch
sorry,
Sorcerer's
I don't have
Stone.
a Harry Potter update.
So,
Okay, so we gotta
Katie
start
has
with
never
Matt
seen
instead.
Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Katie has never seen the Harry Potter movies. So we're taking it slow. We've watched Sorcerer's Stone and half of Chamber of Secrets.
That's
thus
what Luke and I
far.
did.
Yeah,
We
I
did
know.
increments.
The initial thoughts. She said she was way more invested in the first one than she was expecting to be because fantasy is not usually her favorite genre. It's like
Me.
you, Kelly. Yeah. But we were having a good time. Hagrid is dad, of
Yes.
course.
Oh.
Of course. Just he. I wrote down because I thought it'd be funny for a review. We were in the first half of Chamber of Secrets. Her thoughts were Ron should be on suicide watch, and I agree.
God.
Ron was
The
struggling.
first movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, every movie, he's
Yeah.
kind of going through it the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah.
Poor Ron.
Yeah.
Poor Ronald.
It's so funny.
You were absolutely right. These movies move at the fastest clip. Sometimes it's hard to keep up
Lightning
with it.
speed.
And there are things where, like, I just remember the lore because I watched it a million times as a kid, and I'm trying to explain it to Katie. 'Cause she's like, "What's happening?" And I'm like trying to pull it out of my brain. I'm like, I think that the Green Gots goblins are anti-Semitic.
Wait, are they?
It sure seems like it. They're
They're
small-
supporters of Voldemort?
No.
Oh,
I mean
sorry.
that, like-
Sorry.
Sorry, I meant that
I
the
misinterpreted.
portrayal.
Did you interpret it that way too, Luke?
Not that. Basically, yes. Basically, yes.
Well, because
yeah.
Voldemort is Hitler, so
Right,
I got
essentially.
confused. I'm so sorry.
I just meant that, like, J.K. Rowling made the mythical creatures that are like guarding the gold and run the bank to be small hook-nosed creatures, and it's like,
Oh shit.
and like the way they talk about money
I
is
did
like,
not piece that together.
it's interesting. It's not something that's like, I was like, I don't even think this was intentional. I just think this was in her brain, and it's like, oh, I might want to examine that.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
I think I
Mark wasn't listening.
No, I did.
The tone of his
The
voice,
Green
he just
Gots.
like,
suddenly
The
jumped
Green
into
Gots.
the conversation. Oh
The
yeah,
Green
I
Gots
didn't
are
think
basically
that.
Jewish, is what
But-
Matt's saying.
What's important is that the two main ones were played by Vern Troyer and Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
And that's
Mhm.
awesome. And you can tell. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, they're great. Don't have many more updates on Harry Potter at the moment.
Okay.
Katie and I also watched what was it called? Crazy Stupid Love.
Yes, I saw that. That's the one with Steve, not
Yes.
Adam.
Yeah.
Because
So
Adam's
it's Punch
Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
Punch Drunk Love.
correct.
It's
Crazy
different
Stupid Love.
creators too.
It's PTA is
Carell.
Punch Drunk.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the exact
Yeah.
same movie.
Crazy
yes.
Stupid.
Crazy
So
Stupid.
it's like
No,
the
it's
same
not.
movie almost. Like
Yes.
It
word
looks
for
in my
word.
brain they're the exact
Okay.
same movie.
Because they both use the word love in it.
Yeah.
Well, they got like similar covers. It's like
They
some
don't.
No, they
guy-
don't.
They
Whatever.
don't.
They don't.
But it's like-
Whatever.
There's lighting.
Yeah, there's lighting in it for sure.
What? It literally doesn't. One of them's a silhouette, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but okay.
Luke,
You
I'm
can
on
see.
your page.
Oh.
You know, I know exactly
Thank
what
you.
you're talking about.
It stars Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, Kevin Bacon, Marissa Tomei, Julianne Moore. Star-studded cast.
Yeah.
And it was like a funny, what I remember being a movie that I saw the trailer for a lot. It's another one of those movies from when we were kids. I was like, it's got good ratings. And we jumped in, and like pretty immediately it got problematic.
2010, yes.
One of the plot lines is about it 2011, yeah. And one of the plot lines is about the teenage babysitter being in love with Steve Carell's character and like at one point trying to send him nudes.
Oh.
Yikes.
And then
Yeah.
the 13-year-old she's babysitting is in love with her and won't take no for an answer. Like it's like
Ugh.
ah. But
You know
like,
what?
That
I
is
feel like we should
crazy
stop.
stupid love.
I feel like we should stop being like, oh yeah, it was 2011, because how far back are we going? Like, well, because
2011
it's
wasn't that long ago.
It was
No,
just
I'm
but
not-
it's also
I'm not
like
giving
we
in-
do that with.
I'm not giving it an excuse for being it. I was saying it's
I
bad in
know.
that era.
Yes, I
It-
know, but
yeah.
it's just everybody. We do it with every single decade. We're like, oh yeah,
Oh,
it was like that back
yeah.
then. It's like it's like that now.
I know.
You know what?
It's getting better.
It. It's
Yeah,
There's
it's
fewer
better
and-
than it's better than 2010 era. I would say 100%.
It's just in like a different way though. People are
Yeah.
finding more creative ways to be fucked up. Okay, let's.
I agree.
Have you watched the predecessor to Crazy Stupid Love, Punch Drunk Love?
Okay,
have.
so it's because it's 3 words and they both end in love.
yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And
Okay.
Luke's in my brain
Eat, Pray,
when
Love.
we were. Oh, never even thought of that. I think
trilogy.
he said
Eat, Pray, Love, Punch Drunk.
Oh,
Oh,
my god, that's a good
interesting.
trilogy.
Oh, great! Now,
Interesting.
I think it was Luke and I were the same. We didn't know which movie was which because we didn't see either one, so we just kind of
Oh.
thought we didn't know which one was what.
Mark, I'm positive you've talked to me about Crazy Stupid Love.
I've seen Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah, you
Which
so
one of
you
you
have
has seen
No, no, I
Yeah.
hadn't seen it
Is
when
that
Luke
Matt?
and I were living
Matt.
together. I saw it like 2 years ago.
Wow,
So,
you see
like-
how everything's coming full circle because in like
Mhm.
2 months you guys will be living together again.
Oh.
Yeah,
In, like,
we're
a
gonna-
month.
we're
Yeah.
gonna bunk it up. Not really, but
Yes.
But yes, Kelly, I saw it like 2 years ago. But when Luke and I were younger and those movies came out, I was on the same page of being confused on what was what. I just remember, a bunch of different storylines, and then they all clashed at the end.
They all come
So it's
together.
like Love Actually.
It's like non-Christmas Love Actually.
Kind of. Yeah. I will. The thing about this movie is it's tough because there are some like legitimately like good things about it, but like the negatives, we were both like looked at each other, we're like, it's making me not like the movie because like the
Mhm.
negatives are so yuck.
Yeah.
You know,
So
Ew.
it's a solid 3.5 out of 5. So you gave it.
I didn't give it anything.
Yeah,
he-
I honestly, it'd probably be a 2.5 because I'm like, I think I don't like it because there's too
Yeah.
much of that. But like, it had
And-
moments, and Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell and Emma Stone, they're all really
Yeah.
funny.
They weren't
Yeah.
framing it as like a bad thing though,
They did, but like,
or
it
it's
was
just
more
so
of like
weird.
a,
Like, why was that a thing in the first place?
well, and it's like, yeah, the resolution of the 13-year-old not being able to take no for an answer was like, it was not the point was not like you should like move on and leave her alone. It was never give up. If you love her, keep
Oh.
trying. And Katie and I were both like,
What,
what
the fuck?
hell? Like, what
Okay,
kind of thing
that
is this?
does
to
sound
teach
like
a-
Love Actually. Actually,
Yeah.
Correct.
Katie says Kevin Bacon was the best part because he's kind of just there.
Of course.
He's playing the.
oh, it's Kevin Bacon.
He's always just.
He's the man who cuckolds Steve
Excuse me?
Carell.
Mm.
They made sure to use the word cuckold a lot in this movie, and
Great.
it was funny.
Nice.
But he's just like, no, he's not the cuck. Steve Carell's the cuck.
He's the cuck holder.
Yes, he's the cuckolder.
He's holding the
Mm.
cuck.
He's holding.
Do you get it, Luke?
Luke sips
Katie
his
found that
coffee.
really funny.
Thank you. Can she hear us?
I just repeated it to her.
Oh, okay.
So those are my final thoughts on that. Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell are treasures, especially, but their plot line together was like how to pick up women. So it was also like that
Ooh.
one has a better resolution because at the end it's like Ryan Gosling wants to be more like him and be like the dad or like the person who can whatever.
I feel like those movies did not try like those kind of movies also did not try too hard to like have a resolution that was good for most characters. It's just kind of like it
Correct.
ends.
It kind of was just like it ends.
Yep.
For movies, I think that may have been. Oh, we also rewatched Cabin in the Woods,
Oh yes.
which I
Yes.
have always been a fan of.
Mhm.
I will defend. It's not. It could have been better, but I like it. You know, like it could have been tightened up a little bit. That movie, though. That's all.
That,
have to
I
say
was the
about
one
it.
who really did not like Cabin
Uh,
in the Woods
I
when I
haven't
watched
seen
it.
it.
Yeah.
I got that
I won't say anything.
reversed in my head. I
Oh, did
thought
you?
Matt
Yeah.
didn't like it. but it was the other way.
I'll say
Yeah.
I
I'm
just made a list of movies to watch with Luke, and that's one on it because I've never seen it, but I feel like I'll like it.
I think you will. The consensus, I think, is that like it's not like as good of like a meta thing as Scream, but it still is fun.
Yeah,
Like,
that's all it needs to be.
so.
yeah.
I didn't
I
like
have
it.
fun with
I
it.
didn't like the turn the first time I watched it, Matt, and when I watched it the second time, it was better. But I did kind of feel like it was just more of like a little gimmicky. Like the whole point of
Yeah.
the movie is
I
to the expectation thing.
For me, rewatching it, knowing how it goes, was actually better for me.
Okay.
It's also directed by Drew Goddard, who did
Oh,
Daredevil
snap! You know what he wrote?
and what
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield.
Matt, I
And
thought
he
Yeah,
also
he did.
directed Bad.
Was it Joss?
Joss
did-
Whedon wrote it.
Okay, I was gonna say because
Oh.
He wrote it.
He bad.
Yeah.
He bad. But I
So that
thought he had
yes.
directed it.
that is something to remember. He wrote it. So take
Oh
that.
no,
what you
he
will.
also stole
The
the,
director
idea.
is
Of,
cool.
He stole the idea from a Japanese book and got sued over it, and didn't give them credit.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, it was like a whole lawsuit and stuff
Oh.
like that. Like you're like 20, I don't know, 16, something like that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So I know Joss
Okay,
Whedon got in trouble with
interesting.
that. Nothing against the director because he may not have even known what was going
No.
on. So
Yeah. Anyway, I enjoy it. I didn't watch any shows. I think of my scripted shows. We've been watching, Dateline and
Nice.
all that.
nice.
For books, I finished Beloved, which
Nice.
was fun, happy, silly little book. It was dark, but it was well written.
Mhm.
And I'm still reading Heretics of Dune.
How is Heretics of Dune?
Very
Oh.
nice.
I'm 100 pages in
Hey.
of like 600,
Matt,
700. Yeah.
assign us the Dune books.
Ooh.
Of the four that
Or-
I've read.
Yes, because you've
Okay.
read 4.
Good question, Kelly.
Thanks, man. Or do you need time? Because we could do it
Okay.
later in this podcast, because this podcast is about Dune.
I'm
That
gonna
is
just
true.
give it now.
Off the
and then I
bat,
can-
yeah. Initial
Okay.
reactions.
Luke, you get the first Dune.
Oh, snap.
I get Dune Messiah.
Okay.
I like Dune Messiah a lot. Mark, you get Children of Dune. And Kelly, you get God Emperor of Dune.
God Emperor.
Okay. Interesting.
Thinking,
Okay.
okay, Luke, we watched the first Dune together and we both really liked it.
Yep.
I love the Messiah part of it because it kind of like makes Paul the bad guy a little bit.
That's why I liked Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
Was at the end when he gets a little like, ooh. That's yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Children of Dune is cool because it's literally about his kids and they're like kind of born with his special powers too, and it's like
Yeah.
to see his sons rise to power.
Yes.
And
Cool.
God Emperor is about a half human, half sandworm hybrid who lives like thousands of years and rules the universe.
Okay.
What?
I gotta read God Emperor of Dune.
That's what the thing in the movie was. It had to be that. It had to be that. Okay. Yes, and that's
So-
what I get assigned.
The thing in the movie was actually something different. I had to
What?
I had to remind. I think he's a guild navigator. They have to take so much spice that over the millennia, it has like changed him into these gross beings.
That is
it-
cool.
I didn't know when I was watching it. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was like trying to figure it out later.
I'm very happy with my assignment.
I each book is very different from each other. It's like
that's
it's
cool.
definitely very distinct. Yeah.
What's your favorite book of the 4 so far? Oh, Messiah.
Messiah
It's probably Messiah.
might be the first one.
Watch it not be.
I don't know what I'd say my favorite is because I like it as a continuity. Like to see like what's happening. Like because it skips time periods too, right?
Mhm.
From like Dune 2 to Dune 3 is like a skip, and then Dune 3 to Dune 4 is a skip of thousands of years, and then 4 to 5 is
Whoa.
also thousands of years.
So wait, so
later.
is
Yeah.
really the only is without spoilies because I am actually interested in them. Is it like Paul's storyline would be 1 through 3, and then it's kind of just like not or like at least the storyline continues there, and then it's a big skip.
So I would say that 1 through 2 are
Mhm.
Paul's story. And even then in 2, it's like him and another story that are
Okay.
kind of like both equally as important.
Mhm.
And then 3 is like much more focused on his children.
Mm.
So it's like not even like his story at that point.
So it makes sense that they're doing a trilogy and ending it
Ye-
at Messiah.
At Messiah, it would, yeah, because Children of Dune is kind of like denser anyway, and it needed to be like its own. They made it into a mini series a while ago.
Yeah.
It could be its own like separate thing.
Mhm.
That's what the miniseries was.
So there's been
Or-
2. There's been a Dune miniseries and a Children of Dune miniseries.
But
I
they skipped
believe.
Messiah.
Yep.
Well,
Ooh,
Messiah is a part
man.
of Children
Or
of
did
Dune,
they include
apparently.
Messiah a part?
They did. Yeah,
Oh,
apparently.
was
Oh.
it?
It's a
Yeah.
part of Children of Dune. It's
That
just
would make
so,
sense 'cause
so
it
much
would-
smaller that it was able to put in like
It
one
would lead
episode of it or
in.
something. Because
Okay.
this was what I
Yeah.
was looking up. I also tried to find them, Luke. It's one of those ones that you just gotta buy like the Blu-ray off eBay and stuff like that.
Physical disc.
You're
Yeah.
obsessed.
I
Yeah.
You're
even though,
obsessed.
what's funny though is like I have not bought in the book. I'm just like obsessed with the idea of it.
Oh. Yeah. It takes a second getting
I
back
love that.
into it too. There'll be times where I'm like, I forgot what all these words mean. I know he explained them in earlier books, and I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Like train spotting.
Mm.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly like train spotting.
Yeah. I'm still
What-
on the
that's Irish?
It's Scottish.
Scottish, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say I knocked over a remote. I'm on the same. I'm still trying to do the same thing of not starting another big series until I finish the Dark Tower ones, or it'll take me years.
Yes.
And I'm on the biggest book, so that's the next thing I gotta read. So
Is that Wizard and Glass?
Have you started it?
Wizard and Glass. No,
Or-
no. Also, I may actually be getting that surgery after all.
Oh,
Next week
right.
they're supposed to call me to schedule it. I like went to the doctor today,
Oh,
and
snap.
so my idea was while
Okay.
I'm recovering from that, I'll be off of work for a couple weeks, and I'll read Wizard and Glass then because it's a thick boy, and so it'll give me a good amount
Nice.
of time to read it. Because I feel like when I get sucked into that world, Luke, I just like want to keep reading, and
Yeah,
I don't have the time that I want when I was reading The Wastelands, which is why I read 200 pages out like that one day or whatever. So
That's it.
sorry, Matt.
That's one that I
Anything?
want to. I
Oh.
want to read that too.
It's
no,
very
that's
good.
It. I'll
It's
move
very
on to
good.
the next one.
Other than a couple parts, no matter what, there's there's always some parts
Oh,
that are not.
there's always something. I get it.
All right.
Who's next?
Who wants to go next?
I don't have a lot. I'll just say I watched Psych,
Nice.
and that's about it. And then for school, I had to watch the old Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh
You did?
yeah.
Oh, how'd you feel about it?
I liked it.
Okay, because I've
Is
seen it. I
it-
really liked it.
Is it anti-communist propaganda?
You know, it's very Monsters
Maybe
Who
a
Do
little
on
bit.
Maple Street. But actually not, because your neighbors are actually.
I want to watch
bad.
it, and I know it's good. I was just wondering because
It's
I
your
heard
na-
that somewhere.
The neighbors, it's probably anti-communist propaganda.
But
Probably.
yeah.
Luke, tell me if you got this. I don't know. Seeing it from like so many years out, it almost felt like a commentary on Red Scare and like.
Ah.
Yeah.
But that might just be me viewing it that way. I don't know what the intention of it was.
But
No,
however you
well-
took it.
So it's interesting because it's very Monsters Who Do on Maple Street, that Twilight Zone episode. But in that one, it's that nobody was a spy, but they were
Right.
turning against each other. In Invasion of the Body Snatchers, people are turning into aliens, and they're
Yeah.
actually.
They're really like like.
But it
it's-
was like, it's all about like losing your emotion. Like that's when you become an alien. Like they take over your emotion. You don't feel love anymore. So I don't know. It was 10 years after World War II. I think everybody's.
I will say-
Maybe but it's also based off a novel. I don't know when that was
Yeah.
written.
Ah. Matt, have you seen the 70s one?
Yes.
So you've seen both? I want to watch
Yes.
both of them.
They're
I
both
started the 70s one and then stopped.
They're both very good. I recommend both.
Do you have a favorite?
I
Do you
was
have one you like
excited.
more?
I was interested.
I will say by a hair, I like
Yeah.
the '70s one better.
Eh, that's cool.
The
Which is the
original is
popular opinion. Yeah.
the original's
It
got
is.
some just like inherent sexism.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
So I
An old
assumed I'd like
movie
the
has
70s.
sexism.
I assumed I'd like the 70s one better. I liked the cover,
Mhm.
and it looked cool, and it's got Leonard Nimoy.
It's got
Yeah.
it's got Nimoy. It's got Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah. It's good.
Anyway, that was it.
What about no reading?
I'm still in the Trespasser. I didn't have a lot of time. I was taking an exam, and my internet cut out for 10
Oh.
minutes all during the exam.
Oh,
and it's also
no.
proctored using this separate thing. And so I had to email my teacher and be like, my internet cut out. I wasn't trying to cheat because the
Mhm.
honor lock system, it was just...
Did it
The
get figured
vibes were
out?
weird this week. Yeah, he emailed me and was like, simulate, it's fine. But
Yeah. I'm sure if your grades are good,
Yeah.
they don't really care. It's just kind of like a. I'm sure it happens all the time. Too,
Yeah.
With remote and online classes.
yeah. My internet is weird. It'll do that for like 10 minutes sometimes. And then it'll be
Weird.
fine.
I always had internet problems in that apartment, or like complex.
You still have internet problems.
I know.
You're always just like 2 seconds delayed on here. Where like not in person, but
Yeah.
when you re-listen to or maybe it is in person. I don't know. It's like 2 seconds delayed though. It's kind of funny though. Cuz we'll have just slightly delayed reactions to something you say.
Yeah. That's
Really?
how I experience it. Always.
Part of the art. I
Yeah.
never noticed.
That's always how I experience it. I posted, but I'm a cheerleader today. So, rightfully so, we got only like 2 downloads, right, on the podcast so far, right? The YouTube had
Yeah, I
99 views.
Yeah,
In
'cause
a-
you post
in-
the videos with the thumbnail that make it look like it's the movie.
I just
People are
I put
really
review-
clicking on
I
it
put
thinking
review.
that it's the movie.
I put
We're
review
tricking
in the title because
people.
I'm not
Put the
trying.
thumbnail.
So originally, Kelly, I had just done it the way I did the podcast, and then I realized that I didn't put review, so there's nothing indicating it's not the movie. So then that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna just put review.
Now
But
you
I don't
put
feel like
review. Okay,
editing
good.
all the thumbnails and shit. They
Yeah,
can-
no,
whatever.
don't. I think
please
it's funny how it is, but I think that also explains.
Hey,
a
you
little
gotta
bit.
draw an audience. I didn't mean to.
99
Sure,
views, and you when did you post it?
This morning, like 8 a.m.
Wow.
So that one's popping
In
off
12
for some
hours,
reason.
you got
The
99 views?
gays, they're quick.
You know what? It's because I put
Always
that.
online.
I
They
put
gotta
that-
be able to run quick. They gotta be able to be quick.
You know, Matt, you
Speedy.
know how when you post a YouTube video, you can put like the tags for when people search stuff?
Yeah.
I put gay in there,
Yeah.
so that's probably what it is.
Ah, yeah.
That's
probably
actually
what it is.
probably what it is.
We'll test
You
it. I'll do it in all of
You
our
should put
videos.
that
and see
with
them.
every
Yeah.
single one of these
Yeah.
movies.
Please with everyone.
No, put,
yeah.
put gay.
Yeah,
Don't put
I will.
any other tags. Just put gay.
Just
well,
that one.
Everything
Tag it
helps,
as
so
gay,
I
okay.
put the title and then I put like the actors in it and then I put gay. So we'll see if that helps for this one.
That's it.
Oh god. I didn't know that was even a thing on YouTube.
It's to help like if you have very specific keywords and someone types in gay movie review, this would be possibly an option because
This will pop up.
that's
Yeah.
like 3 of the words I put in there.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why.
Crazy.
I'll put those in all of our videos because apparently it's working.
Please.
Yeah, it is.
If it isn't broke.
You cracked the formula.
Yeah, you did.
All right, Kelly, what have you been doing? I know we watch movies
So do you
together.
want
and
me?
You could do it.
Yeah, you want me to? Okay, so the 3 of us, Mark was down this weekend. The 3 of us watched Dune together.
Ah.
Wait, what? Did we watch any shows together?
No.
Just
No.
Bluey.
Okay.
Oh, Bluey. We did watch Bluey.
Oh shit. Okay, let's start with shows. We watched a shit ton of Bluey together, and then Luke and I are on the rollerblading episode of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yes.
Yes. And then Mom, Dad, and I finished Staged, which is phenomenal as always. And then next we're going to first when Luke is down, we're going to be watching Abbott with him. More shows? Luke, did we watch any more shows?
No, I finished Ghost BBC edition weeks ago.
A
Forgot to
long
say that
time
on the
ago.
podcast.
Long time
forgot
ago.
to say that, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but yeah.
Okay, so then, me, Mark, and Luke, we watched Dune together in the middle of the day, and then at night, which we watched Weird, the Al Yankovic story, which I
yeah.
cannot believe we hadn't seen before.
I couldn't believe it either.
Possibly one of the best movies ever made.
It is one of the
Is
best
one of the
movies
best movies ever made. It is the best movie ever
ever
made.
made. It is the best
Um,
movie ever made.
Matt, Dad did the thing, like, you know when he walks by and he'll stop just to see what you're watching? But he stood there for like straight up 5 minutes.
I
Just watching it.
was just talking about this to my boss. I was like, you know those kinds of movies where like your dad just stands there and watches
And he
it?
just like does the stance.
yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna show them that in the summer
Beautiful.
when they have time. Fucking phenomenal movie.
Yeah, it is.
And then the three of us watched Now You See Me 2 on DVD.
I saw it.
though, did you guys know it was available on Max?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But we had to watch it on DVD. Yeah. We watched Now You See Me 2, which the greatest achievement in cinema.
Honestly.
card
The
scene?
card scene?
Stop
Are
that.
you
Oh.
kidding me?
Okay. Okay.
Luke, the
Spoiler
strobe
alert,
lights.
at the
the
end.
strobe lights.
At the end, we figure out there's no tension in that scene whatsoever.
You guys are being nitpicky. That
No.
movie is
I'm
incredible.
saying the strobe lights caused the rain to stop.
Oh yes, of course, of
Oh, you're
course.
talking about the rain?
I was talking about the rain.
Oh, I'm talking about the rain.
Oh,
I was not
okay, but-
nitpicky. I was
I'm
saying.
talking about the card.
Oh, you're talking about the rain? This
Yeah.
movie has no flaws. What can I say?
Two Woody
Harrelson plays
Harrelsons?
two different characters
Two
yeah,
Woody
on U.S.
Harrelsons.
soil. It's crazy. Genuinely, it has to be seen to be believed.
Ooh.
Go watch Now You See Me 2.
Or when they went through the tube and then they woke up in a different country.
Yeah.
Good.
Because of the strobe. It was the strobe lights again.
actually was.
That's
Right.
the biggest character in that movie is strobe lights.
Strobe lights. I don't know how it does it.
And then the next day, Luke and I showed Mark Reno 911, The Hunt for QAnon.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So Mark, how'd you feel about that movie?
I can't believe they dropped the R word in 2021
They did not.
in
Yeah,
a
they did.
subtitle, so it was very.
Oh yeah, they
Very
did.
intentional.
It's
Oh,
Reno
no.
911. What else do you expect?
That's
You're
fair.
lucky it didn't get worse. You should watch the first movie.
Oh God.
You would things that they say in that one.
I'll just say,
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt. One of the
Treasure
best
of our time.
performances he's
Comedic
ever.
genius. Yes.
Um,
Comedic genius.
best chase scene I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What else was there?
Best twist, right? Best twist.
The best
The
twist.
craziest
Interesting.
cameo since
Best,
Mamma Mia 2.
action
That's
fight
true.
Don't
scene,
say
favorite
who.
scene.
Don't
That's
say who.
crazy. That was a crazy cameo. No idea that was gonna happen. Yeah, it was. Oh my God, watching that in the middle of the day is intense.
Matt, you would really like it. And
Oh,
you
I'm
would
sure
like
I would.
what the commentary. Well, if Reno has any commentary,
Yeah.
who they're making fun of.
Yeah.
You would like
feel
who they're
like-
making fun of.
It would be it would be weird to see them. It was weird watching the newer seasons because I always viewed it as like a trying to put my mind in the early 2000s, and to see them make fun of like stupid things now is probably
Mhm.
so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that movie. That's that entire movie. The whole plot of that movie is that.
Silly. Do they show up to January 6th?
Well,
Oh,
there's a
there's-
guy. There's a character.
There's a
There's a
guy.
character.
Was it- Was it the QAnon shaman? Because I saw him on the cover.
Yes, of course. Who else
He's
would it
from-
be?
Did you know he's from Arizona?
Of course he is.
And he's
What-
running for state Congress.
Oh my God.
Everything you're saying is not surprising me one bit.
No, it's not, but it's just so frustrating.
Oh my God. Yes, it was incredible movie though, and what an intro in the beginning. What
What
the
an intro.
fuck was that? What the fuck? I don't know who came up with that, but Jesus Christ. That had no
Mark,
relevance.
You've
to
seen the
this.
least. You've you've seen the least Reno out of all of us, so that was probably a very big shock to your system. Because, like, to me and Luke, we had watched the whole show, and then the movie, we were like, this is normal. We're like, this is about right.
I watched.
What's weird? Yeah. Yes.
I watched quite a bit with Matt when he was watching it when we lived
Yeah.
together, but
Mhm.
I don't remember a ton of it. And I think it was before. I think it was only like the first 2 seasons, to be completely
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
So like, if it gets more like that later, I'm not surprised. But also,
Well,
The
They
weirdest thing about the
reserve-
movies is that
Yeah.
there's an actual arc
yeah.
and plot
Ah,
point
yes.
contribute.
Because the episodes are
to
just
an overall
clips put
story.
together.
that's fair. What I like
No,
about
but they,
it.
they
oh,
reserve big things like that,
mhm,
like the opening for the movies.
I see.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because I know what like the original idea is like it's basically Cops, like a parody of Cops, and if you watch Cops, like no one ever fires their gun in Cops, right? They fire so many guns in Reno 911. I was thinking about that. I
Shoot each
forgot to
other
mention
all the
that.
time.
They were literally just so many gunshots, and like they're just chasing each other, just like.
He got shot in the opening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually got shot. Yeah. So. Yes, it was very good. I want to watch more of it, but I feel like it's just more fun to
Oh.
watch with you guys. Like by myself, it's fine, but
yeah.
like it would be
Yeah.
better
That makes
to
sense.
sleep.
Yeah, we'll show you some. Okay, and then last night I watched Splendor from 1999.
Did
I
you
did.
not log it? Because I would have
Yes,
seen a
I
Gregoraki.
did.
I was not paying attention.
From 1999, one of the only Gregoraki movies I hadn't seen.
5 stars.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
it's like okay, it's like a
I
whole.
always forget this is the movie with that description.
Oh yeah, it's like a wholesome kind of version of Doom Generation. It's like Doom Generation, but with the best ending.
Oh.
Like
Interesting.
it's just straight up good vibes. It's like
Mm.
this and Kaboom are the least serious Gregoraki movies that I've seen. Like nothing is taken seriously in this movie, and it's just like, and it all works out in the end, and I love it, and it is a
Nice.
great time.
Are you trying to tell me that Doom Generation doesn't have a happy end?
That is the saddest, or I don't even, just the worst ending.
The most shocking ending. Yeah.
Not in terms of film wise, but in terms of like the events that occurred. That is the worst ending.
Yeah. So Splendor is like that, but if everything worked out.
Mm.
Oh, good.
And just like good vibes the whole time. There is one of the people in the throuple. Also, this movie really captures the spirit of being a dumb, broke, bisexual bitch. It
Mm.
really, it's
A
a
3D
timeless
representation.
experience. It's a timeless experience. Hasn't changed in 25 years. Will never change. There's one of them is is somehow dumber than Jordan in the Doom Generation.
Oh.
It's incredible, guys, because he's presented, and I thought because he's like the drummer of a band, and he's presented like he's gonna be this douchey guy, and then he is just so dumb and just so sweet because he is so dumb.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I had a fantastic time. And wait, what else? Oh, now do I do? Oh wait, I didn't do all of TV. I watched 8 episodes of Girls, that
Oh,
show, which
yeah.
is violently 2012. Not in like not morally, but like aesthetically and pop
Okay.
culturally, violently 2012. But it's like I think the show's a little bit controversial, but
Okay.
I don't know. It's just people being fucking disasters, and I'm having a good time.
Oh, good.
And then I don't think I read shit, but Harry Potter video game. Luke and I are on to the second movie.
Nice.
Oh, all
We
right.
finished the first movie. We fucking killed Quigley with our bare hands.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we're on to Chamber of Secrets,
Quigley?
and I think I'm done. Yeah, Quigley.
Oh, okay.
or what was it? Queerle.
Yes.
Oh, that reminded me of another comment Katie had before like the reveal with Professor Quirrell, because she had no idea. She was like when he was introduced, she's like, "Oh no, they made the guy in the turban the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher." I'm like, "Oh, Well, at first she thought it was just the dark arts teacher, and she was like, and I was like,
Ooh.
well, don't worry, it's
It's
defense.
defense.
And there is a reason he's wearing it, but like,
He's got a man on the back of his
Oh,
head.
man.
What else are you supposed to do?
Crazy.
but it does like the optics of it when he gets
Mhm.
introduced are not great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
That's true.
This stuff I never thought about because we watched as a kid and we
Right.
know where it's going.
I love getting the perspective of someone who has never
Never seen-
really only seen memes, basically. You know?
Oh,
So
that's
she
so
was-
fun.
She was laughing so hard on the train scene when they're driving in front of it because there's this vine of them going like looking at each other like what's that, and they turn around and it's Thomas the Tank Engine just bearing down on them so loud.
Oh, we have to send him the chess that we showed you this weekend, Mark.
Chess.
Luke, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yes.
I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm
Ah.
not doing it right now. But
No,
I'll
you
send
said
it.
you
chess.
can't.
Thank you.
Stop. That's so exciting. I'm really excited for you and Katie to watch it, and you
Me
should
too.
tell me everything that Katie, all of
Well-
her comments about it.
That's why I like telling you guys on the podcast because then it like helps me remember what happened.
I had something else to say about. There's something I forgot to talk about
Did
in Harry
you-
Potter. Oh, Order of the Phoenix. Voldemort in a suit.
How do you like that?
Not a surprise to anybody, but unfortunately, it made me feel things. But also something
was that
I
just the
meant-
scene where it's like a dream and he's like,
Yeah, and he's like head's going all
Yeah.
crazy by the train. He's straight up in an all black suit, and like they
That's-
didn't have to do it, but like they did, and it was working.
When you have Ray Fiennes,
When
it
you have
kinda-
Ray Vines, you know, it's not surprising to anybody, but like his bald ass and his pale head and his snake nose, it was working.
yeah,
for
I was
me.
about to say, yeah, the
Mm.
nostrils.
Yeah, the nostrils.
Mhm.
Also something that I forgot to mention last podcast was that I needed to tell you was that Jamie Babbitt, director of But I'm a Cheerleader, directed Hero or Hate Crime.
No.
And I needed to tell you guys that.
You're
You
kidding
did.
me.
No, I'm not. It's pretty perfect.
That's amazing. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep, that was it.
Kelly,
Mark,
did you
your turn.
read anything?
Mark.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, that was the most condescending thing in the world.
rude as hell, but it's fine. Other than the movies that Kelly said, Dune, Weird, Now You See Me Too, Reno 911, Hunt for QAnon, rewatched Weird with Trini.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it was. I was deciding on. I felt like watching a movie yesterday, and she let me pick whatever I wanted, and I had a list, but I was like, I really want to watch Weird again,
Nice.
and it was just as incredible the second time, honestly, and she actually really liked it too, because sometimes
Yes.
you never know.
Hell yeah.
You never know. That sense
Yep.
of humor is very specific to us.
Is it?
Yes.
Well,
It's just
our
dumb.
type, yes.
Yep.
But that's not everyone's.
Yeah.
thing, so
Yeah, it's really everybody that I have an oddly specific obsession with just so happened to be in Weird.
yeah.
So yeah. That's if that's an
Yeah.
indicator.
You know what's funny though? You know how Yorma Tacombe we didn't initially like recognize.
I noticed.
Oh well, Luke. You know how we didn't.
Yes, correct.
Trini immediately when he showed like
Ah.
from the side of his face was like, oh, that's the guy from Hot Rod. I was like, I didn't know. Dude, that scene was overload. with
That's-
everything is going.
It was
on.
overload. It was
There's a lot
overloaded.
going on.
Sensory overload in that scene.
And
But the
Jack Black
best
in that scene
cameo?
is.
Yeah.
Jack
The
Black
best
in Conan
cameo
O'Brien,
is-
so.
Conan O'Brien playing Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
David
At the
Delsnash
party.
and his
Oh,
John.
there were so many Divine. Nina West playing Divine at the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, it
Oh,
was.
also, Akiva Schaffer played. Who was he?
I don't know.
at
Alice
the
Cooper.
party? He was Alice Cooper.
But yes, very good. Again, I very much liked it. But that was the only movie I watched. We watched 3 episodes of originals. So we're still in the beginning of season
Nice.
3, but 3
Nice.
episodes originals. Bluey with you guys showed you got some good episodes. Just watched the Librarian episode of Abbott. And I think that's it for TV. I've been watching a lot of Curtis Connor.
Nice.
He was
Nice.
yeah, on in the background too if I'm doing something sometimes. But he's been the one that I've been like obsessed with, of just I get in those grooves of like watching everything that they've done.
Yeah.
He's currently the one, and he's very funny. And
Yes.
for reading, I'm on page 194 of On Writing.
Nice.
Isn't
Nice.
that the number that Snape says? Page 194.
Something like that.
I thought it was 300.
Dang it.
Is it?
Darn.
I don't know.
It ends in a 4, I think.
Yeah, well, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Out of 316, so I'm a good chunk, but also
394.
394.
Wow.
whoa, crazy. Also, my friend Ray got me these bookmarks that like kind of make the pages heavy, so I haven't been using them. But it kind of works for this book, so I have them like in there for things I wanted to
Ooh.
bookmark. But
nice.
also, they're cats. It's like so it's a magnet on both sides of it, so it
yeah.
holds the page, because like the magnets can go through the page, but it does crinkle them. So I only want to use them on books that I'm like fine with, like how Kelly does with her books. But they're all cats.
All right.
All right, that was a shot.
They're all cats.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh,
That's really cute.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and they're different.
So
Yeah.
different. That's great.
Let's see.
Meow.
That one. That one.
Stop.
For audio
We're not allowed to speak
listeners,
for the
we're
next
looking at
30 minutes.
we're looking at cats. Oh, I like this one. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
that one's really.
Wonderful.
but yeah. So,
Oh, is it
I'm a good
true-
artist.
Is it true that cats can start developing personalities of their owners?
Probably. I would.
Is that why Roscoe is the way he is because of you, Luke?
I believe we've
Probably.
had this conversation before, and I think we've
Probably.
determined yes.
Yeah.
We've I think so, but I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's it. I've just been reading that so far. I like to stick to one book.
Mhm.
Well, and then I'll do like one audiobook sometimes, so I'm like almost halfway through The Leftovers.
Ooh.
I'll wait to talk about that till I
Okay.
finish it, but it'll be a while because I only really do that on long drives, and I don't know the next time I am. So, but it's interesting.
Cool.
I like the show better so far, but it is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not my Kevin Garvey.
I
of
agree with you.
course.
I agree with you.
You know. It's very good. All right.
Okay,
guys.
wait, no. Before I wanted to back. Jamie Babbitt. I'm sorry. She directed 3 episodes of Sunny.
Which ones?
Yep.
Hero or Hate Crime, PTSD, and A Cricket's Tale. And she directed 2 episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Ooh.
3 episodes of Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh snap.
Which is crazy. And then she, what was it? 7 episodes of Only Murders in the Building.
What? Oh,
And
like she
three-
did a lot of them.
3 episodes of Russian Doll, which is really cool.
Of course.
'Cause Natasha
yeah.
Leon. Yeah. So I wanted to say that because I thought that
Hell
was
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't mean that in a
and one
condescending
of the-
way. It came out that way.
You just are naturally that way.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Anyway, nothing.
Okay, Dune,
Dude.
1984. Oh, let me bring up a synopsis.
Oh yeah, it was your pick.
It's the
Wait. While you do that, Matt, I
Yeah.
was feeling particularly inspired by the movie, and I actually drew Paul Atreides. Do you want to see?
I would love to see.
See?
That's a good depiction of Paul. Yeah.
His eyes are blue. That's how
Oh,
you
good
can tell
job.
it's Paul. Can you see? Can you see?
I can see.
Okay,
I thought
I
Timothy
found-
Chalamet was in the room.
I found one
Funny.
that is not long, but not the shortest.
Okay.
So, with the extraordinary property of unfolding the space-time continuum and even expanding consciousness, the rare substance called melang, or spice, is the most valuable commodity in the known universe. In the year 10,191, Atreides and Harkonnen, two warring clans under the thumb of conspiring. I don't know how to say that word. The Emperor.
Right.
Shaddam?
No, the first one. It says Pat. I can't. It's a
Oh, Padisha.
Padisha. Okay. Padisha Emperor Shaddam. The fourth, fight for control. However, the coveted material exists only in the arid landscapes of the inhospitable, worm-infested desert planet Arrakis or Dune. Now, against the backdrop of a sinister conspiracy and the murder of a beloved one,
Nice.
a gifted
Yeah,
leader
hello.
emerges, destined
Oh no.
to command
I couldn't tell if it
millions.
was him or everybody.
The young son
No,
of
Mark.
Duke Leto
SOS.
Atreides.
I think that means
Are you back?
Oh no, did I cut out?
Yes.
Big
where was
time.
I?
You finished.
No.
I think you got to the very end of it. You said or Dune, and then it cut out.
Oh no, there's more that I've been reading.
Crap.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay. Arrakis or
just
Dune.
go from where you are.
Now, against the backdrop of a sinister conspiracy and the murder of a beloved one, a gifted leader emerges, destined to command millions. The young son of Duke Leto Atreides, Paul. Paul. It's funny, his name is Paul. But can the inexperienced visionary harness the power of the mysterious dry moon and fulfill his destiny?
The
Wait,
dry.
what? Dry moon?
Yeah,
What's
I
going
don't
on?
know
I don't
why it
know.
was called that.
I don't know who wrote that.
Most moons are wet. Did you know?
In my experience, yes.
Most moons are wet. Guys, this was me the whole movie. Watch. That was me.
That was
the whole
me.
movie.
That was me sometimes, and I've read the books. I was like, "What's happening?"
Okay, but to be fair, this was also me watching Dune Part 1 like 4 years ago or whenever it came out. So, I don't know what's going on.
Now, for me, that's how I was watching Dune Part 1 when it came out. When I rewatched it, I understood it a little bit more. And then when I watched Part 2, I understood that movie more and Part 1 even more. I feel like I connected the dots. So, when I watched this movie, I felt like I understood what was happening for the most part.
Yeah.
But if I had not understood Dune Part 1 or 2, I would not have understood anything that they
No.
were saying. It also helped that we watched it with subtitles, though, for sure, for me to try to piece together what was going on. Luke, was it easy for you to understand?
Yeah. The thing that was confusing was that creature dude with the nostril
Okay.
that
I
opened
liked
up
him,
in with
though.
the smoke. I was confused.
Oh
on
wait,
that.
no, I didn't like
No,
him.
you didn't like
His
him.
Yeah, you did not like him. You did not like him.
Hey, I couldn't watch it open up and close again.
That was what I was
awful.
confused on because I didn't know what was going on with that.
That's so inappropriate. Is this movie rated R? Because it should be.
It was very
Because of that guy's mouth.
Cronenbergian.
It's
Yeah,
probably
was.
Wait, what?
very Cronenbergian.
So what was that thing, Matisse?
So, from what I understand, because that was the part I was talking about when I said some of it also went over my head, because I was like,
Okay.
I don't who is this guy? He's a guild navigator, I believe. He's the whole reason it's melange, the spice is like used for space travel. It folds space, as they're saying.
It's that guy? Oh no,
So-
the spice folds the time.
So it's when they take enough of the spice, it allows them to like know,
Right.
like it allows them to do that, and the guild navigators are the ones who takes like so much of it. And they now look like that from like thousands and thousands of years of.
But they used to be a
Mhm.
person.
So
I don't remember.
that was not in the new movies, right? Or was it? Did I miss it completely.
No, it's
Okay.
not.
Who
It's
would
weird
not
because
have
that they spent so much time on that
Ah.
because it's like they mention guild navigators, but showing them is irrelevant. Like the plot can go, and
Okay.
yeah,
I thought you hated him.
I don't like his ussy, whatever it was. His guild ussy. He was a fun guy. he
thought he was
did, like he was like "Ooh, ooh, ooh," and he was like, you know, in space and stuff.
I like
know
that
what I
it
hope-
wasn't like CGI. It was like a
That
practical
is
thing.
true.
It just looked
Yes,
gross.
that's what I liked. But his
Yeah.
oh.
I appreciated that he told us exactly what was going to happen in the plot in the first 5 minutes of
See,
the movie.
No, that
Guys,
was the princess.
So I like Florence
That
Pugh's
too.
It was
character.
the first second.
I like how
Do you-
she was like, "Oh wait, I forgot," and then
And then it faded back in.
That was good. That was good.
Did you recognize her? I was like, I know this actress, and I looked it up. She's Helen from Candyman. Have you guys seen the original Candyman?
No.
Oh shoot. I haven't yet.
She's the main character.
Oh, the wait at the university.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever her name is. Like, oh, Helen. I already said it.
Yeah, you just said it.
And then you forgot it.
This is how it feels to watch Dune.
Hey,
Well,
your
I
shirt.
just watched James and Chelsea's ranking bracket
Nice.
of
Very nice.
that.
Very nice.
Wow, that's a great shirt, Matt.
Thank
No,
you.
that was serious. I love that shirt.
80.
uh,
It's the one I wore to the Screamerama. Anyway,
Yes.
continue.
I just watched the ranking of bad horror husbands, and they
Oh.
talked about him, the guy in Candyman,
He's
her
Sky.
boyfriend.
He sucks. Yeah. He sucks.
So
Anyway.
yeah,
Princess Irulan.
So overall, this movie,
Yep.
the more time I've gotten away from it,
You like
the
it more, baby.
that I've liked it, and
Yeah.
I already liked it when I watched it. So I might be the biggest stan of this movie ever. You might say.
Oh man.
You might say.
I actually really like this movie, because it's like, it's like a abridged version of what Dune Part 1 and Part 2 are, like, because it's essentially the exact same thing. The only reason I could understand it is because it was the same stuff, but the information was given in a Halloween 4 elevator type of way,
Yeah.
of a very like, let me Basil exposition this at you, and I'm like, I like this, just like get it to me.
I bet I would have been confused if I didn't know the story
For sure.
beforehand, but
For sure. And again, I would not have liked this movie as much without watching Part 1 to Part 2. And I like Part 1 and Part 2, but I like that this is like, you can get the same experience, not the same experience, the same experience essentially.
same experience.
Because I thought he wouldn't ride a worm, because I was like, how are they gonna? Uh-oh, I froze.
Okay.
I
You cut
froze.
out?
Yes, I froze. I saw that. Okay. Am I back?
You're
you're
back.
back, man.
Okay. I was gonna say I didn't think that he was gonna ride a worm, because I didn't know how they were
Well,
gonna
he
film
did.
that, and he
Oh,
did.
They rode that
Roll
worm.
that
He
worm.
did. And so
Sure
like,
did.
and the way that he was like riding it, I was like, oh my god. So, and the fact that Part 1 takes like 75% of this movie, like that storyline, and Part 2 takes about like 40 minutes, I also love, because that is not at all how I felt watching the movies. Like, I wanted Part 2 to be longer. It was, and like we got more going on there. And then this one was like the shortest amount of time to show us the same thing though. Like when his teacher, I don't remember his name, when his teacher like comes back, I would
Bernie.
not have understood what was
Yes.
happening
No,
in this
no,
movie
no, I
at
agree
all
with that.
if
I
I
agree
didn't
with
know
that
what
completely.
happened in Part
Completely.
2. Not at
Yes.
all. But because I have the knowledge of what's going on because of Part 2, I was like, I get it. I get what's going on. Oh no. Oh, I keep cutting in and out.
Okay, you're back.
Okay, I might have to turn off my camera if this keeps happening, because that
Okay.
usually helps. Okay. Anyway, this movie I really like. It's obviously like silly and not told in the best possible way in
I
some
don't know what you're
parts.
talking
The shields that they use are the most incredible
Oh,
thing
that
I've
thing is
ever seen. in my
incredible.
life.
Those are the
Yes.
best things. That's
Yes.
my favorite thing that anything
What
has
the
ever done.
And
That
I'll
was
say,
amazing.
I actually expect this movie to be like even goofier, like how the shields are, but I kind of like that it's only really like the shields that is like really weird like that. So I really like this movie. Also, last thing I'll say, and then I'll let someone else talk. I really like that in this one. There's like no question if he is the Messiah. He just is. He just is. And it's no one questions it, and he knows it, and then it's confirmed at the end that he is the Messiah because he brings rain.
Oh, like Jesse.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Jesse,
what
stop.
he yells and it like breaks the
Stop.
floor.
Just
Like what
Oh.
the fuck is happening?
that was good.
Okay. Matt, I want to hear what you thought of it.
I think as a Dune adaptation, this
Hmm.
is terrible.
What?
And I think just narratively, it's a bad movie. It's so fun. It's funny. there's so many things where I was like, I cannot wait to talk about this. when he runs, Sir Patrick Stewart runs into battle wielding a machine gun and a pug.
Yes, the
You don't
pug.
get that
space
nowadays.
pug.
We would not be able to see that nowadays.
The fact it's so funny. They spend 42 minutes before they get to Arrakis. And then the last 45 minutes is the whole like second half.
Yep.
And when he meets Stilgar, I was like, everyone in this movie is white until the last 15 minutes. And then we see one person of color.
Is
That's the big thing.
is Stilgar the one Ed?
Yes, Big Ed.
How about their prolonged eye contact
so
like
much eye
5 times? No, it was just so prolonged. It was so much eye contact. It was really good.
I thought it was very funny because in the newer movies they make a good job of being like Paul has to like earn the Fremen's trust, and in this one he shows up and within 30 seconds they're like, he's one of us now. What's your name?
That's the whole plot of part 2. That's the
Yeah.
entire movie. And he just shows up and they're like, yep, he's the Messiah.
And how much they speed through Lady Jessica taking
I
the
know.
water
That
of
was
life. They're just like,
interesting.
well,
okay,
I'm
so-
back now. I'm a reverend mother.
My biggest gripe with
Yeah.
84 Dune is Chani is not a character, and
Oh,
she's like
yeah.
the
Zero.
character of part
She's
2.
not
It's
a
like Paul and
character at
Chani
all.
are the characters, and
For
she's
sure.
just not in this.
They cut from her just being like, tell me about your home planet, to
They're
like
in love.
fading them into making out. And he's like, we were in love.
Yeah.
It's like, they do say,
Was she...
Mhm.
Go ahead.
they do say the best stories tell, don't show. And this movie
Oh, yeah.
tells you a lot.
I don't know. It
Did they-
showed us their
does-
love. They were
does-
kissing.
Right, and that means
left and
love.
right.
Hey. That's my whole argument.
Is she like as big of a part as she is in the second movie in the books, Matt?
Yes, and it's the same
Good,
way
okay,
where like
good.
in the first movie people like made jokes about, Zendaya was barely even a character. I'm like, he doesn't even like meet her until he has
The
visions
end.
of her and he meets her halfway into the book, and then she becomes really important.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
So it's just
They did-
like she was barely in the movie.
Also,
Yeah.
She could have been completely taken out. She was a non-character, which sucks.
correct. Which it's a very important, like he says, for land, it's like for reasons that are political, he's gonna marry Princess Irulan, right? But he doesn't even do that in 84, and it's like Chani's character does not do
Also,
anything.
yes.
also, she resurrects him in Dune Part 2, right?
Oh, to our thousands.
I
of
will say that
listeners-
part confused me in Dune Part 2.
To
So
our
he came back
thousands
on
of
his own.
listeners, spoilers for Dune Part
Spoilies.
2.
Yes, of
So,
course.
so it was like
No spoilers for the 84 one.
Both.
That too.
she like
Important.
he was Sleeping Beauty and she was whatever the guy's name was, and then
Prince Charming?
So
Wait.
yeah,
No,
you
no,
know,
is that
Sebastian. That's not Sebastian, is it?
no.
And then she was
wait,
like,
no,
oh, no.
Sebastian's the lobster from Ariel.
Yeah.
So
Ariel?
Prince Sebastian. So
Not
she
him,
was
Ariel.
Prince Sebastian.
Wait,
What
is
the fuck
Charming
is happening?
From Cinderella? Is Prince Charming from Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty?
I don't know.
Prince Charming's from Cinderella, baby.
It's Philip.
Is
Philip?
it Philip?
His name is Philip. I swear to God.
Okay.
So she was
Oh, no.
Prince Sebastian, and I
Yeah.
don't know what happened, but he woke up and then he had Messiah powers and he started losing his mind. But she like woke him up because she was like, Paul, don't go into the ether.
I think yeah.
Maybe I wasn't
In
following.
2017.
I think she's probably a
Right?
tether for him. Yes,
Right.
exactly.
That's kind of what
Don't
I
go
got. Was it
to
was
the-
like, I must come back to the real world because of Prince Sebastian.
well,
what are they called? The headlights? What
Yeah. Yes.
They-
Deadlights.
Deadlight.
It. Yes.
Luke. I'm not sure if this. If, I don't even necessarily believe this, but it was a podcast I was listening to about Dune Part 2. What they thought he was doing was like he had already come back to life because he could survive the water of life, and he
Right.
waited until Chani kissed him, so it was even more of like a believe that he was the Messiah type of thing, and it was like magical and shit like that. I didn't get that from the movie. It was just because someone was saying that they had read the book and that's what they got from it. I was like, oh, just
I don't
see.
remember.
I don't know. I'm not saying that's what happened because it didn't seem like it, but I don't know. It's a possibility for sure.
I think she was just as tethered to the real world, so it was like he couldn't let go completely, which helped him come back. I guess I don't know.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
like Denise when at the
Exactly.
end of Hot.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, God,
Now I
got
get
got
it.
got it.
Who are we on? Kelly, what did you think
Oh,
of
yeah, Kelly, what'd you think?
84?
Oh, I was not paying attention. I famously don't love Dune. I
Yes.
watched part 1. I haven't seen part 2. I don't really care at all about the story. And so I was not following, but I wasn't trying to follow it. I was just there for the vibes. And when the vibes were good, I was in it. When the vibes were a little bit boring, I was somewhere else. I thought it was fun though. That's my thoughts.
For our watching experience, I thought it would be more. I thought the nipple windows were gonna come out. The
They
titty
were not,
windows,
that's
and they
my
weren't
main
there.
gripe. Where are the titty windows? Where are the titty windows?
Silence! Where were the titty windows?
Silence.
Titty windows. Yeah. I was waiting the entire movie for the titty windows. The titty windows never showed up. However, Sting in a metal G-string, not
Yeah.
really even a G-string, in a metal panty showed up, and it had no purpose. It was just for him to be lusted after, which was amazing.
It worked.
Apparently he was supposed to be naked in that scene, but then the studio was like, he can't be naked, and so they were just like, get something slapped on him. Okay, and yes, also, okay, so the only thing I knew about the new part 2 was the silence, right? And so the whole movie I've been waiting for the silence, and then I was asking
TL
Luke and Mark, I was
silence,
like,
Matt.
wait, we still haven't gotten the silence yet. And Mark and Luke were like, oh, it's past the time that he did it. It's not gonna happen. And then it happened, and it was very exciting. I don't know why that lady was meowing afterwards, but it was great.
I don't remember someone meowing.
Meowing?
That's because you were fucking talking over it.
Whoa,
Sorry.
Luke and I were
told-
talking about the story.
No, you weren't. Matt's gone.
Ah, yes, we
So
were.
this is just us. No, it wasn't. He yelled silence, and then you went, oh, he did it, he did the thing, and that's why you missed it.
Is everything okay, Matt?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I keep hearing this noise, and I thought it was like a car that kept honking outside, but I don't hear it anymore.
Nice.
Sorry.
Aren't you moving soon?
In a
Without saying
month.
locations? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
I think the noise I'm hearing is in my headphones, and that's what's throwing me off.
Mm.
Oh.
Anyway,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Don't mean to interrupt.
No, it's
No,
right.
you're
We're just
good.
fighting.
This
We
is
were
off
just
topic.
fighting.
Whenever we play Valorant, sorry, this
Yeah.
in my headphones, when we're in the showers on that one map Bind, it always sounds, because there's water dripping, that there's somebody behind me. So every time I'm
It's
sitting
me.
in there, I think Kelly is behind me.
I am.
What?
It sounds like my fingernails are getting clipped.
I've never.
Oh,
Also, Luke, you famously have the worst hearing I've ever seen with anyone playing
it's
Valorant.
'cause I pick up on too much. I pick up on too much.
You don't pick
That's
up on
really-
anything at all. Dude, the amount of times Tony and I have to scream at you because you can't hear something that's very
because
clearly there.
I have good vision, and so all my vision went to there.
No, it's because you
Wait, all
burst
my
your eardrums as a child because you had ear infections.
His hearing isn't that bad.
It's
see-
not that bad.
Worse than yours, Mark.
His hearing?
Yeah.
My
Yeah, it's
hearing
It's
is
not
10
that
out of 10.
bad. It's not 10 out of
Um,
10, but it's not that bad.
I wouldn't give it like the worst hearing, but I'd give it like a 4.5.
I'm gonna give it the worst hearing.
But less than half.
Yeah.
During
Wait, so
Valorant,
Mark, is your hearing a 10 then?
Hell no.
Are you?
during
What's your
video
hearing
games,
at then?
Like a 6.
yeah, during
Okay,
video
see,
games,
not
my
that
hearing is at a 1. My hearing is at a 1 during video games.
Yes, I was gonna say,
Mark's is
Luke-
at like a 7.5.
So playing
Or
video
an
games,
8.
I would give myself an 8 during video games, and Luke probably like a 2.
You become
Dude,
Matthew
that's-
Murdoch while you play video games.
It's too much sensory
You have
overload.
headphones. It's so easy.
Yeah,
like,
but it's too much
in your
sensory
ear.
overload.
There's
Then don't
what am I
play
supposed to
it.
do?
Okay, sometimes yes, Luke, because I can understand if you can't hear footsteps while gunshots
Yes.
are going sometimes, even though they're in 2 different headphones sometimes. I get it. I get that. We're talking about when there's like a gunshot or like a footstep only happening, and there's no other noise, and you can't hear it, and it's like the only noise happening on the screen.
He's focused on something else.
You can't.
There's nothing else to
blame me.
focus.
You can't blame me. I'm just a little baby.
Oh, you know what? Good
No,
point.
no, no,
Good
Wait,
point.
hear him out. He's got a
Good
point.
point. You know what? Move on. I'm good.
Oh, Sky's playing Pac-Man. Tell Sky I say
She's
hi.
playing
Tell
Pac-Man.
everybody I say hi.
Hi.
She's literally looking at the screen. Hi.
She's funny.
Hi. You want to play Pac-Man?
You know what beef I have with Dune 84?
Wait,
Tell me.
yeah, go ahead.
Some of the pronunciations hurt.
Oh,
my
I was
ears.
gonna ask about this. Is it pronounced Harkonnen or Harkonnen?
Harkonnen.
How do you
So
know?
this is like the last
In the
Airbender.
new movies,
What if they're
it's just-
pronouncing it differently?
it sounds better in my head, and that's how I read it on the page too.
So Matt's
You read it on the
yeah.
page because
Oh, I
that's
see.
how it's
So
pronounced
I
in the
thought maybe
movie?
in like the glossary that he wrote. I thought maybe in the glossary he even gave pronunciations.
He might. I would have to look at the book.
Like train spotting.
but
like train spotting.
also it's in the newer ones it's pronounced Bene Gesserit, and in this they very clearly say Benny Gesserit, and I think it sounds very funny. It sounds like a person named
Like
Benny.
two names, yeah.
What if it was just Dean Jesuit?
I read it as Ben Gesserit, and I realized I was wrong the whole time when I was
Ben.
reading it. So
I do that
Oops.
with a
I-
lot of names in a lot of stuff. I just
Yeah.
read it, and then like halfway through the book, I'll be like, I'm like missing a syllable. Like obviously, there's like an I in there, so it's like I'm
I do
missing
that,
something
yeah.
completely.
yeah, me too.
I really enjoyed watching Kyle MacLachlan run around and be a silly little guy. And
So
also
silly.
Brad Dourif is always welcome, and I love
And
him.
those eyebrows were perfect.
They were incredible. And also, the character that he plays in the new one is David Dasmalchian.
I believe so. Yes.
That's perfect. That's a
Yeah,
perfect
It's a perfect
new.
cast.
That's a Brad Dourif and David. That's perfect.
Brad was giving so much on every line.
He
Like just
always does.
you're like you have one line in this shot, and he's like, "Let me give it as much English as I can."
My-
oh,
here."
I
You
love it.
know, like-
It's like Two Towers when a famous shot of the entire franchise is when he cries looking at the
Yeah.
army, and that was not scripted. He just did that.
I love him.
That's a guy.
I think Sting did really
Guy.
well for what he had.
For what he was given.
I think it was
absolutely.
great. I think he did it perfectly.
She's trying to
I
eat
think-
the ball on like she's trying to eat the red ball.
As she should.
She
Yeah.
succeeded.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You have food. Sorry, continue. Whoever's talking.
I think
See, he's
that
not listening.
the funniest part of the movie for me was when this is another one. I always thought the name was Aaliyah, and they were calling her Alia. I don't know what's right.
I thought they were calling her Leah.
The first time, at least, that she's her name is said, they say Alia, and I was like, that was weird.
Huh.
The first time she uses her like Bene Gesserit voice to like
Yeah.
command people, the funniest thing
That's
in the
so
entire
funny.
movie. Yes.
I think
'Cause
the
she's like,
shields are number one for me.
Nah,
Shields are, I think
yeah.
shields
And
are
then-
one. Shields are one.
Okay, what about the little baby pulling out that guy's nipples?
Okay, the
That's
No,
Ollie.
no.
yes, the sister.
Baron?
Yes,
the little baby.
The little baby pulling out the Baron's nipples.
that was obviously
That was
very
funny.
different from Dune Part 2.
That
That
was
was
actually more accurate to the book.
from what I heard, it was like a baby that could just communicate with people. That's what I heard. Was it supposed to be a child
He was-
like this age, or was it supposed to be a child like a baby?
Even younger, I believe. I think she was like 6, 3. I don't know. She was 2.
There's a big
Yeah.
difference between.
Sorry. Yeah,
She was 2.
She was a 2-year-old, but she has the consciousness
like
of
this
like
big.
millennia. So she was like,
That's always the excuse. That is. We talked about this while watching the movie. Whenever they're like, they need a character that was born 2 years ago to like do something special, they're always like, they age quicker. They age quicker than most people do.
Yeah.
It's everything, and I don't like it.
I feel
but
like
that's not
this one
even
was just
in
for
the
the
story. That was just made for the movie. Yeah, this
No.
one was just for the movie, right? Because
no,
in the
it's part of the book.
so Anya Taylor Joy. so
her,
that's
they
different.
changed that in the new movies. In the book, Aaliyah is important at the end of the book because she is alive and like a toddler and has interactions with the Baron like that. So that
Well,
is
that
like
is
accurate to the book.
So they actually changed it for the new movie.
They did, yes, because it fit better with the narrative, and I'm on board with it.
I also think a
I
little
just-
2-year-old speaking to people, it would look very strange.
Kelly.
It's just a gripe I have that trope in general.
Oh, totally.
It
No,
just
I get
feels
it.
like an out where it's like, no, they age quicker. Sure, whatever. What,
Yes.
Luke?
Ooh. Matt told me that the little baby
Oh, she
is
was.
somebody in The Return, and she's Gersten, who is Donna's sister.
Oh
in the
my
original, yeah.
god. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That is.
Oh.
That's awesome. Because David Lynch, I mean, and love David Lynch.
He looks after his own. I loved him
Yeah.
in the Spice Crawler. I didn't recognize him at first, and then he started talking, and then I was
his
like,
voice.
David. Yeah.
I immediately recognized him. I was like, that is
Oh.
David Lynch, and his voice is so distinct.
Yeah. Kelly. Sorry, she's Gersten from the original Twin Peaks, the
Yeah.
piano sister that just appears, so she could play the
Yes.
piano. I didn't realize. Okay, yeah.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's the piano sister.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that where
There's-
they never mentioned Donna having another sister until that scene because they need someone to play the piano. It's pretty
There's
good.
deep lore with her in the books, in
Deep,
the
deep
Secret
lore.
History of Twin Peaks
I'm
and
sure.
Final Dossier.
Of
Sorry,
course.
I'm distracted. Sky will not stop chewing on stuff she's not allowed to chew on.
That's okay. We'll fill the space.
She's
Or we'll
trying.
try.
The problem is she chews on like this. She pulls off the fabric, but she swallows it.
Mm.
So the problem is the fact that
Oh.
she eats it. So like she'll tear
Sky.
up her scratch pad with her mouth too, and like sometimes it's okay, but sometimes I see her swallow it, so I have to stop her. And like this, she's gonna start doing that. She's gonna ruin all the buttons up there. Why? Sorry.
But we
sorry.
love her.
Yes, of course. But I need her not eat fabric so she doesn't die.
It's the oral
there's that.
fixation, Mark. She takes on the personality of the
Yeah.
owner.
Yeah.
And we already talked about we have to keep chewing on things.
I'll just let her eat my finger. I'll be over here while she
Yeah.
gnaws on my finger. Okay.
Good plan. The pacing of this movie was so funny. So funny. Because I was like, wow, they're taking a really long time. And then it was like, I could not have been faster. It's hilarious that was the choice. Like,
I thought they were
really-
telling the part one story fast because part
That's what I
one
really
is slow.
thought,
So
yeah.
I thought it was fat, like because so much was
Oh.
exposition. But I get what
I-
you're saying in the context of the movie.
well, yeah, I knew. I was like, the movie's 2 hours and 17 minutes. So I was like, we're a half hour in and we've barely started. It's like, when are we going to get to this?
Yeah.
I thought
And-
the part one was gonna be quicker. I thought they were gonna move
Yeah,
it quicker than they did.
right?
Yeah.
It's very funny to me too. Well, the narrative is, I like to imagine it was that they screened it like a test screening, and they're like, we have no idea what's going on, so they're like, we have to hear every character's thoughts. We just have to.
Ooh, that's a good.
You know what I like that?
Right?
Am I the
I
one?
like that stuff.
Am I the
That was
one?
pretty funny. Am I the one?
I think they need to do that for every single movie ever made because
Correct.
that makes me understand stuff easier. There's no subtlety.
Confused by it. You
Hey.
openly admitted about watching the movie that it was confusing you. So I don't know what you were talking about.
That one time
I-
it confused me.
Give him a break.
I
Thank you,
thought-
Luke. Thank you. I can get confused and understand more
It's
at
a
the same
paradox.
time. Yeah, my mind is a paradox.
It made me. You contain multitudes.
Hmm.
Yep. Hashtag Walt Whitman. I
Don't.
thought about
Don't do
every
that.
time. Every time I heard them just explaining what was going on with thoughts, it made me think of Lethal Weapon 5, where Mac
Oh.
just keeps repeating what has already happened, just so that you make sure you're not lost.
That's Mark's perfect movie.
Yes, that's what I'm
Is that-
saying. Because this is the only movie that I can think of that So the reason it confused me was because at first it's used as a way for them to communicate because that's what it is. Like, but then they just started doing it for every character's inner thoughts when they're not
Sure.
communicating it. So at first I got confused. Then I realized it's just a confusing ass story to tell in 2 hours. So they're just like telling us how everyone feels by not showing it because they don't have time. So I was like, okay, that's what they're doing, and I'm in for it. Even though I know it's not great in the fact of like subtlety. Who cares? It's like I like it because I like to know what the characters are thinking without having to try to understand it myself. They can just tell me.
Do you like watching the Baron fly around and go wee like Grandpa
No,
Joe?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do like that. He was disgusting in this. I don't know what was going on,
He is disgusting, correct?
but it
That's
was
like
very
the point
different.
of what I gathered is that that's the point of him is that they're just nasty
Yeah.
But
and
it-
they
they're
want to
supposed to be
take over planets. Also, I don't understand the story. That's it.
You got it. That's it.
I did think
Okay.
it was so strange to upfront be like, "Oh, we've made a plan with them to attack the Atreides," and it's like, well, that's supposed to be like a big reveal.
Not in
like,
this
what?
one.
You
Not
told
in
us
this
right
one.
up front.
You know what's happening. Even with the inner monologue, I would not have understood without watching part 1 and part 2
I know.
at all. Which made me really appreciate the way Denny did it because yes, it's long. Yes, I'm like I didn't like part 1, now I do. Like the fact that it is like a longer story and it does show not tell, and I understood it enough to then understand this movie. Like Denny did a really good job, but I really appreciate that this one is tell don't show.
I really like that they used to say that like Dune was unadaptable. Like it was just gonna be incomprehensible, and he kind of was like, "Yeah, well, watch me, okay, motherfucker." And I
Well,
like
I
that.
didn't find it comprehensible. Comprehensible?
Yeah, that's right.
Matt, were you talking about?
Well, I'm also
Lynch?
not the target audience, and I'm also a
Oh
stupid.
no, I was
so-
talking about Denny.
Okay, because that's what
Sorry,
I
that
thought
was
you were talking.
confusing.
But David
Yeah.
Lynch said the same thing. He said, "Watch me," and then he put inner monologues and was like, "Now everyone gets it."
And then he says, "I don't want to be here right now," and they say you have to finish the movie, and he said, "Fine."
I think that might be why the part 2 is so
Yeah.
rushed. I was gonna say it seemed like David definitely not liked, but definitely was more interested in telling the part 1 than the part 2. But I don't know if it was just like he was done with, like he didn't want to be there or whatever. I'm not sure how that went, but it's very rushed at the end.
I'm guessing they had to cut it down in editing
Sure.
because it was just way too long, and I think they just cut a lot from part 2.
Yeah.
So I think
Probably.
it could have
That
gone.
seems like it.
Also, because
It's probably what happened with Chani.
there's also a lot
Right.
of that probably got cut a lot. There's also a lot of like fighting and special effects, probably purposes, budget purposes. They had to cut it, so it's.
But the effect of that worm that he rode.
I love the worm.
Ah.
I love him writing the worm. That's
I
my
love
favorite.
that.
I love
I
that.
am actually so happy that we waited to watch this till after Dune Part 2,
Yeah.
though, so I could like not be like, oh, looks so much better. I was like surprised when it happened in Dune Part 2. Didn't because I had no idea what was happening, so I was glad I didn't read it. I was glad I only watched that, and then going back it made it even better. So I'm glad we did it in the order that we did, because it's the same thing. It's just 40 minutes of it versus 2 hours and 45 minutes of it.
You know,
But you know what Dune 1984 has going for it? Jack Nance shows up for
Of course.
us.
Yes, it does, and
Beautiful.
that's
So-
very important to me.
I loved seeing every time someone would show up that was like a Twin Peaks person. I was like, ooh, there,
Yeah.
oh, there, yeah.
Is this the first thing he worked on with Kyle?
I believe so.
I think so.
Because if so, this was the genesis of something very special.
I
Without
believe.
Dune, yeah.
I believe David was coming up with the idea for Blue Velvet while doing Dune, and that's when he was
Ah.
talking to Kyle about it.
That makes a lot of sense. When was Blue Velvet? Was it like 80?
86.
86.
That okay then? Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's really cool.
I know that this is David, like the one that David Lynch of his own that he does not like and has disowned. I have not seen the other ones that Kelly has said that I would like, but out of the ones I've seen, this is my favorite, which makes a lot of sense. Just by the way I enjoy movies versus the way like David makes movies or how like Kelly likes movies. I feel like it's very obvious that, or not obvious, but you did say that this was your least favorite David, right, Kelly?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I like it more than Wild at Heart. And sorry, that's not true. I like Wild at Heart more than this for sure. I like Wild at Heart much more than you and Luke do.
right. But this, so I've seen Wild at Heart, Eraserhead, and this. So it's a very small sample size,
And
but I do really.
I really
it.
like Eraserhead, and you really don't. So
Yes.
it's totally different.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fact
I
that
just find
David
it fun.
has disowned this, but this has been my favorite of his so far. I think it's very clear of like the type of
Evidence.
audience I am.
Yeah.
I'm the dumb brain of the
You're
just
not
give me the big
dumb.
No, the
No.
dumb teenage brain of like, give me monster.
You're not a
give
teenager.
Me crazy. Stuff. You know what I'm saying.
I know what
Feeling,
you're saying.
I'm trying
Thank
to pick
you.
a fight this
You're picking my words when you know what I
specifically
mean.
with you.
Yeah.
I'm specifically trying to pick a fight with you.
Why? I just like this
don't know.
movie.
It just happened that way. Oh no,
Ellie-
I liked the movie too. It's
Kelly, what
fine.
is your favorite David thing that isn't Twin Peaks? So Twin Peaks I know is number one.
So not counting Fire Walk with Me.
yeah. So not including
So
those.
favorite movie. That's not Fire Walk with Me.
Yes.
God. I think. Oh, that's hard. I think that Elephant Man is the best made. I think that's because I think that's one of the best movies I've seen, like in my opinion. But favorite kind of oscillates between Mulholland Drive and Blue Velvet, but I'm leaning Blue Velvet right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Matt.
But
Matisse?
it could also be Elephant Man though because I thought that
Nice.
was so good.
I
Yeah,
think.
That's
Are
good.
we still excluding Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
'cause-
Because is that your number one too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Twin Peaks the most, and then Blue Velvet is my
Okay.
second favorite. And then
Okay.
after that, I don't know because I would like to rewatch some of them before because I don't.
I think you should watch Eraserhead with me and Luke, and I think you would have a good time.
So we all have different as Twin
Let me
Peaks.
fall.
Twin Peaks is my number one too, but I think my favorite movie, not including any Twin Peaks, is Mulholland Drive. So
Right,
we all have different.
Well,
Yeah.
because my favorite movie, like if we're not counting Twin Peaks show, but we're
Yeah.
counting Twin Peaks movie, my
It's
favorite
Firewalk.
David Lynch movie is Fire Walk with Me. I had a visceral reaction to that movie.
You did,
And
but we
so-
watched Dual Spires afterwards, and
We did watch Jules
It
Fires
was
afterwards.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we all have different favorite
Yeah.
David Lynch movies because mine's Fire Walk with Me, Luke, yours is Mulholland Drive, yours is Blue Velvet, Matt, and Mark's is Dune.
Dude.
we all have different.
It makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
I have a feeling that no matter how many times I see it, I'll probably still be on the Mark side of. I don't think I'll ever like Eraserhead, but I might not be so mean to it. Maybe
Yeah,
you
just-
know, because
Just-
like it was tough.
Yeah, just not
Do you-
my vibe.
I don't. Okay.
I've seen it twice.
I
Yeah.
watched it with you guys and I liked it more. It's just still not
Yeah.
my vibe of movie. Like I still don't
No,
like
I
it.
completely understand that. And it's like, you don't have to like the movie.
Yeah.
I just can't pinpoint why I do like it.
That's fair.
I
No,
was-
you could just like something without having a reason.
I
This
know.
is true.
And
I
I
was
do.
telling Luke the other day that I was like, the older I get, the more that I like David Lynch's work because one, I just think that I'm becoming more accepting of like things that don't meet my like idea of what standard or like
Mhm.
normal like movie making is, but also just because I think David Lynch seems like a fun, nice person, and I
Mhm.
He's
want
so
him to just
peepaw.
be
Yeah.
fun and different.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
You know what
He's
I do
so
like
peepaw.
about
He is
Eraserhead?
peepaw. What's up?
I liked the theory that Luke and I came up with. Was it Luke and I? Matt, were you part of that? I don't
I
remember.
think maybe.
Where we were
What was
trying
it?
to understand Eraserhead and it had something to do with the radiator.
It's atomic bomb.
It's
Yes,
an
yes, yes,
atomic- yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Because of radiation, and
Yeah.
that ties into Twin Peaks.
It does
So
tie into the
it's
return.
all in
So,
the same.
I have
Because
fun-
Eraserhead takes place in the Black Lodge.
Yes, so I had bad memories of watching it the first time, but then fond memories. So I like it in that way because I think about when we were trying to explain it to each other, and it just went more and more off the rails too. So like I still
definitely-
like that.
The atomic bomb has something to do with it. Because even in Twin Peaks, a
for
character is literally named Harry S. Truman.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
connects.
Mhm.
And
all
in the
connects.
return, there's a huge, ginormous poster of the atomic bomb. Plus, the atomic
Well,
bomb
also
is
the
what
whole
creates, part
the
8, where Bob is
Woodsman
like, it's
episode.
"Rawr," and Woodsman's like, "Rawr,"
So
It
like,
for sure is
Satellite,
something
yeah.
there.
because it's the evil of humanity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Also,
I also think that you're not supposed to try and understand.
you're
his
not.
movies.
But
No,
that's
because
why, like, when
there's
we were
so many
saying
different
it,
meanings.
yeah, when we were saying it, it was like this could
That's
be
what made it
nowhere
fun.
near
You're just like,
what he
"Ew,"
means.
yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
was
out there.
not serious. Also, it brought us Toilet Head, Luke. I have fond memories
Yes,
of
it did.
filming
It did.
Toilet Head.
Yes,
So.
it did. Yes, it did. My best role, I think.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
I al- Eraserhead was just the movie that he filmed with his brother while he was a roofer. He
Oh,
like
that's
worked
awesome.
on roofs and then was like with his friends and his brother and filmed Eraserhead.
I really like the everything is fine song moment.
Yes.
I
Yes.
just really like that.
Mhm.
What was I gonna say? I just really like the straight story too, and I think you guys
Yes.
would.
Yes. It'll
Very
make you
nice.
weep and weep. Maybe I don't know. It's
That
good.
I got a shout out in an episode of Psych, didn't it?
The straight
Probably. Yes,
story?
it did. I think it did. I think it did. He
That
said
makes
Elvin
sense.
straight in the straight story.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
What's Farnsworth? Is that the
Richard Farnsworth, I believe. Yes.
He said someone. He's like, who are you, Richard Farnsworth in the straight story?
That's
I think
Only
yeah.
Psych.
Right?
Only
Yes.
Psych would make a reference.
Yes.
Oh,
Whoa,
oh my god.
his whole screen.
Hold on.
He just rips the monitor.
Oh, and Inland Empire just got put on Max this month. So
Did it really?
Yep.
I
So
had no
finally,
idea.
Luke and I will be able to have seen all of Lynch's.
You
We still
guys-
need to watch What Did Jack Do, though,
You guys
which
remember
I'm very
this?
excited for.
Apple Jacks.
It's
From
from
Psych?
Psych.
At all?
I don't
Do you remember
remember
this?
that.
What is that?
Well,
from
anyway,
Psych?
Kelly got me this.
Nice.
Remind me what that was in Psych.
It's
It
the
was episode-
horoscopes. Go
Yes,
ahead,
he was doing the horoscopes for the newspaper, and he
Oh
gave
yes.
Juliet's zodiac sign. He said, "Your true love will be wearing an Applejack's t-shirt."
Oh,
That's
And he
beautiful.
was.
So
Mm,
a very, very specific
so
Psych reference.
specific. Oh my god,
That's
people are just gonna think
also
you're wearing
just-
an Applejack shirt, which is
And I
also
think
that's
cool.
fun.
cool as hell
Yeah.
too.
yeah.
I think I could go up to James Roday Rodriguez, and he would be like, "Why are you wearing an
Yeah.
Applejack t-shirt?"
He would not
Yeah,
know. He'd not know
I
what you're talking
remember
about.
that. Oh, wonderful.
Other thoughts on Dune? Kyle MacLachlan's hair. I
Oh.
love how like floofy.
I want to eat it.
Yeah, it's like floofy,
Yeah.
but like stays
No, it
perfectly
looks solid,
still.
like a Lego piece.
That's so
Like I
Kelly
feel like you
mentioned
should
that.
detach it.
Yes, that's
Oh,
what
did I say that while watching? The
you
movie?
did, and it was like perfectly explained. It's like that, but also like extremely floofy. So it's kind of like how is it both? Like it's very interesting. But I very much
Yeah.
liked his hair. Oh, and the part that Luke pointed out was Attack of the Clones was 100% influenced by for both part 1 and in this movie of the little thing coming into the room. It just wasn't a slug this
Oh.
time. It was the thing. But it was very
Huh.
Attack of the Clones when Anakin was I mean, obviously Dune influenced Star Wars like the most out of anything, but that scene was specific made me appreciate Attack of the Clones a little bit more too. I was like, oh,
Of
I
course,
get it
A
now.
little bit,
yes.
yeah.
Except
I
Cosmonaut's video where he's talking about how Palpatine sent. Yeah,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
and that got a little bit messy there.
You know what's crazy to think about is this movie only came out 7 years after the original Star Wars. Like
Oh my
that's
God.
crazy. Like that'd be like if a movie that came out in 2017 to us now. Like that's
Mm.
like not that long.
I think
So
that's why it got made though. Like I
I-
had that
For
thought
sure.
while watching. I was like,
Yeah.
this got made because Star Wars was a big
And
hit.
that's
100%.
what's crazy is like Star Wars was influenced by Dune. Like so many parts of it
By the
are
book.
Yeah.
literally just
Yeah.
Dune, but then Star
Inspired by
Wars
Dune.
like this movie wouldn't have been made
it so this
without
movie-
Star Wars.
yeah.
So it's like they
Yeah.
both
I read a trivia that George Lucas offered David Lynch, the director
Yeah.
of Return of the Jedi, and David Lynch said, "No, it's your thing." But
That was 84
and then
too.
the year after he did Dune,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was 83.
83.
83.
same time basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Interesting. But it's very
that'd be crazy.
especially like with literally just the emperor of the universe who goes down to somebody else like
Yep.
because we didn't know too much about the emperor in
yeah.
in A New Hope.
Whoa.
Like
Okay.
we just kind of like
Oh,
which is like
oh.
the Baron and then
Yes,
we find
yes.
out a little bit more later about him
Yes,
and that's literally
and
that.
the force is literally like
Okay, he
what
see-
the
yes.
spice does to Paul's head.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's something about Dune though. The Emperor is literally just some guy.
Yes.
He's just a dude.
Very
I
much so.
thought it was the Guild Ussy guy at the beginning of the movie because I was like, that looks like something that they would call the Emperor, but nah, it's just some man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess in the new one it's Christopher Walken, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like that.
You know, that's also interesting. Arrakis has 2 moons,
Mhm.
and then Tatooine had 2
Ooh,
suns.
and it's a desert
It's
planet. This
Oh.
is so
Desert
yeah.
planet. Yeah, no, like Star Wars is Dune, essentially.
Yeah.
We made
Caladan
Mark.
is like the planet from Attack of the Clones, where it's all rain.
Yes.
What's up, Kelly?
We made Mark do it, but Matt, assign us the Star Wars,
Assign you the Star Wars out of like all 9.
including you.
Okay.
Assign
Um,
us.
I can choose from like any Star Wars property.
Sure.
Oh
It's
wait,
up
no.
to you,
I
buddy.
think.
Ball
wait,
is in
Kelly,
your
are you
court.
making him do all 9 movies, or you're saying
Oh
like,
no,
each one
I'm
of us gets
making you
one?
do all 9 movies.
No.
Or okay, then let's not.
Wait, I misunderstood.
It's too hefty a task.
It's too hefty.
We don't have to.
I will do it later, and the next
Okay.
podcast I'll bring
Smart.
it on because it's gonna take too much thinking.
Smart. I like how
Thank
you
you.
guys do it off the top of your heads like so fast too. But
I have
like,
to think too hard about it.
yes, then I question myself.
Oh, it's
a
just
lot
based
times
off of stereotypes we've created about ourselves.
For sure.
so.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It's Mark. Are you frozen, or are you just? Is that just how your face is?
Frozen because I'm
Oh,
I'm
no.
shift.
He's
I'm
frozen.
moving now. Can you hear me?
Great.
I can hear you. Why is
Okay,
it
you're
do
back.
this? I could hear you the whole time and see you. So
Oh no. I don't know why it's doing that.
it's fine. It's fine. What? The last thing I was gonna say was that I thought that essentially Star Wars is Dune, but made for like kids with like big actiony explosions and stuff to make it like fun. It's like, oh,
Right.
what if Dune was fun? That's George Lucas's whole idea.
Yeah, you were in the room. You were a fly on
That's
the wall.
what it was.
What if Dune was fun?
What
See?
if Dune didn't need a whole glossary at the back of it to
Yeah.
understand what's going on?
Yes, because this was
No,
basically
wait,
what's
actually, because like Luke Skywalker is so Paul Atreides,
Yep.
where he's
Yes.
just standing
So-
there and he's just like a little boy, and then
Yes.
it's just like,
Well,
you know?
and think of Luke Skywalker in his all black in Return of the Jedi, and
Yes.
then think of Paul
Yes.
standing there in
Yeah.
his Atreides uniform.
yeah.
I mean, the Sarlacc pit is literally a sandworm
Yes,
that's
you're
stuck
right.
in the ground.
You are
It's
correct.
so is
Yep.
the sandworm.
Guys,
like,
I
you're
think
so
we've
right.
cracked it.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, like, and
That's
when he
crazy.
did the special edition and he added the mouth to the
Oh, Mark, you're
Sarlacc pit.
frozen again.
Ah! Why is this happening?
What I will say, hopefully he can still hear us. I appreciate this movie so much because it paved the path for so many other things, both in sci-fi and just David Lynch meeting all the actors he likes working with.
Yeah.
Besides Laura Dern, she comes
That's
later,
it, that's-
you know.
yeah. At first, I was like, I couldn't believe she wasn't in the movie, but it's because
Wild
the
at Heart
first
had to be
thing.
made. It was Wild at Heart, I think.
Was it?
She was
No,
Blue
well,
Velvet.
it was
Blue Velvet, I'm so sorry, Blue
yeah,
Velvet.
it was like Blue Velvet was. Yeah.
The Robins.
Mark, you're back.
I
Hi,
could hear
how
you
are
guys, so
Okay, good.
just assume I can hear you when I cut out.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I was gonna say when he added the Sarlacc pit's mouth in the special editions,
Yes.
it reminded me of the worms more so in this. Also, the worms were crazy in this. The fact that he like tamed
Yeah.
all of them, like,
That was
was insane with his mind. That was not in the new movie, but that was pretty cool.
I like his eyes.
I like his eyes too.
And I like that they just like put blue over the whole eye
the
socket
hologram, yeah.
yeah.
instead of giving it blue eye contacts or anything.
Mhm.
Do they make contacts that can turn your whole like even like the white part blue?
I'm sure they can.
'Cause that's what I was wondering. Can they?
Now, but I don't know back then.
Right. That's what I
For
was
sure
wondering.
now.
If that's why they did that, they were like, I don't know.
Probably not back. I mean, they did what they had to do. The shields, guys.
The shields.
They did what they had to do.
That
and it was
was
for the best. You know what? I like
Crazy.
Dune now.
Oh, good.
Matt, do you think
I've
that?
decided.
So I'm obsessed with Dune for no reason, not reading the books and only watching that. Do you think I would like the book, or do you think it would just be too dense, like too much going on for who you know me to be?
It may be a lot because when I was reading it, it also like the middle part of it like took me a little while to get through because it's like, and especially when you're first starting to read it, I went and made a point of like reading through like the glossary and looking up words when I didn't know so I could try to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a lot up front doing that, but if you take the time to do that, it's easier to read the rest of the book. So
Now-
if you're
I was just gonna say, with seeing the 2 movies, would it be easier, or the 3 movies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because and I didn't read it until after I had seen the first Denny
Okay.
part 1. So that's what made me able to read it and understand what was going on,
Mhm.
I think. So I think give it a shot.
Okay. I might try
Yeah.
it. If I don't get it, I'll just read it and not understand it. I think I'll get the plot points. There's been 2 adaptations, and they're the exact same thing. So I'm assuming the book is pretty much the same thing.
What if it was a shot-for-shot remake like Psycho did in the 90s?
Yes.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
I'm gonna watch that documentary about the first Dune movie that was gonna be made.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Jodorowsky. How do you say his name?
I don't know,
Not sure, but
but yes,
yeah.
that one and the
We know it.
documentary about it. I really want to watch that because I'm very curious on what he was gonna do. If he did make that movie, because that would have been out before Star Wars was out if he had made it. So
That would have been
and
crazy.
he was doing it before Star Wars was a
Whoa.
thing. So that would have been the first. That's crazy to think about.
And then Star Wars probably wouldn't
space
have been what
wasn't
it
even
was.
invented yet.
Well, like if say it bombed, if
That's
Dune
crazy.
bombed too, like the one that he made,
Star
then
Wars-
Star Wars probably wouldn't have gotten greenlit too.
Wow,
And
in
it's
an
like,
alternate
Right.
universe,
Whoa.
there's an alternate universe of an offshoot where that's
That's crazy.
it's crazy because Star Wars has influenced so much itself, which was
Yeah.
influenced because everything's influenced by something. But like Star Wars has such that cultural impact on literally everything at this point, like sci-fi wise.
Yeah.
And it was so inspired by Dune. Now that I've seen the Dune movies, it's like, yeah, Star Wars was heavily influenced by Dune originally.
Yeah, I love that. Do you notice too that like everything influences everything, like we were saying?
Yeah.
When the worm showed up for the first time and opened its mouth, I thought it looked like the egg from Alien a little
Yeah.
bit.
Oh, good call.
And that was only 5 years before that, so I was like, I bet you they like
Yeah.
took inspiration from the design, the character design.
Yeah.
everything in Alien is so phallic.
And yeah, phallic, and then like the egg opening up too is
Yeah.
supposed to be vaginal kind of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
yeah.
I think that though, like, didn't the inspiration for Alien? It was like, some artist,
Geiger.
the painting.
I think it's H.R. Geiger. Is that his name or no?
Was that the artist?
I think he's the guy who created some of the stuff for it, and he's like an
I think-
artist.
I think he was the original artist, and then they saw his work, and it's like it is very like genital. What's the like term where it's like it looks like genitals?
Yeah.
um,
Yes, 1996. It's like exactly a xenomorph. It's one of his
Yes.
paintings. Yeah.
Yes.
It's called Necronom 4.
Yeah.
Jeez,
I don't know. I think it's interesting. I really like that stuff.
that is very cool. I didn't
How that
realize
happens.
his work was like that influential to Alien. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Well, so it was his work, and then he worked on the designs for the movie.
I don't know. What I heard may have been that they designed it based on the painting. I
At
could have gotten
least
that mixed
that.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
It's
cool.
pretty cool.
I like sci-fi.
I see. I've given sci-fi such a chance,
Such a chance.
and it's just not my thing. But there are
that's
aspects of it that
fine.
I can get behind. You know,
I think
I often like when it cross-sects with horror.
yes. I think sci-fi horror is some of the most interesting horror. Although one of my favorite subgenres is like I don't know what you'd call it, lighthouse horror, like sea shanty horror. Like it's crazy.
Completely
Yeah.
understand that. That's so specific and so neat.
Katie and I like make jokes about it now. If there's like a lighthouse in something, I'm like, that's a good lighthouse. I just
I
like
love
lighthouses.
that shit.
I don't know.
Me too. Okay, we get it. You get it. You get it.
Yeah.
Luke, how do you feel about lighthouses? Also kind of phallic. Not even kind
Very.
of.
Very.
Very phallic.
I like.
Oh.
lighthouses.
Sorry,
good.
sorry, I was talking.
No, it's okay. I think it's funny that your microphone was off, but then you chimed in to say that lighthouses were very phallic.
Yeah, it came in right at that time. And I was like, very, extremely. What when we're talking about Alien?
Yeah.
Aliens is the most me movie, maybe of all the first me movie ever made. To be honest,
you think so?
because like it's like space horror, and then it's like, what's the sequel gonna be? More of that? No, she fights it in a robot costume.
Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
he just went like fucking crazy. Like you would think that it would just continue the horror element, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna just do like action for it." Like, yes, there's
Yeah.
horror elements, but like the fact that it's literally just a completely different movie. I really like
Luke-
Aliens.
Yeah.
Luke, what did you say about the new Alien movie and the feedback Fede Alvarez got?
Was it Beta saying
Oh,
or
that-
Mark?
that was
I think it might be Mark. Yeah.
Oh,
it was you,
was
Mark?
two
Oh, I'm sorry.
Completely separate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mark,
Notes.
what? Oh, Luke, you and I were talking about Romulus at one point. I thought I mentioned to you.
Somewhere
And
in
that's
there.
what I was
Yeah.
thinking too, Kelly.
You're in Cole.
Mark, what was it? Didn't you say
Hmm.
something about like he got different feedback
Yeah.
from Ridley Scott and James Cameron?
Complete like almost opposing or something like that. That it
That
was
makes
very
sense.
very different because they made two very different Alien movies that are both critically acclaimed, which is crazy to think about.
I want to hear
Is
David Fincher's input.
Prometheus in the Alien universe?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
prequel.
Is that the one where Michael Fassbender
Yes,
is in it
yes,
and he
yes.
has sexual tension with himself?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Because we saw that in theaters, and that was the only thing I remember from that
Or
movie.
wait,
I
was that
very
Alien
young.
Covenant?
No, Alien.
That was Alien Covenant. We saw that in theaters. We did not see Prometheus in
Oh.
theaters.
Then
I've
it was
never
Alien
seen Alien
Covenant, is what
Yeah.
I'm
I've
I've
talking
never seen
about.
Alien Covenant. Yeah.
Luke,
You
I
have
only-
never? Then who did I see it with?
No, Luke
You
saw
saw
it.
with us.
Who'd you say have never seen Alien Covenant?
I also
just
heard
said-
that.
I
You just said never seen Alien Covenant.
did not mean to.
Oh,
I
I
don't know.
also heard that.
Oh.
That's
I don't
weird
know
because
what's going
Matt
on.
said no, he didn't hear that, but Kelly and I did. What the? Alien
I
Covenant.
was 12,
I need to rewatch.
and that was all I got from that movie.
Yep.
We liked
Danny
Alien
McBride was
Covenant
in
when
it.
we watched it,
I liked it.
but I don't like
What I
Prometheus.
remember from it.
Engineers. Ugh.
Engineers.
Crazy. In the original, you can see an engineer, right? Like an outline of one in this spaceship.
Luke,
Isn't that
nah.
I mean, when they were making it, they were probably like, "Oh, this is a spaceman," but
like big,
but
big
like
human.
some other spaceman alien.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of cool?
I think
But
it's cool.
but is it like that thing where it was just like a thing drawn on there, and then he created it from there, and was
Oh,
like, "This was always my
1000%.
plan."
That's cool. That's
1000%.
cool.
I don't
Oh,
even.
wait, he never claimed
I don't
that
even
it
know
was
if he-
always his plan. I think.
I, even if he did, so what? It's cool.
Well,
Just
it's the
I
see-
think
same
it's
thing
because
that
I
a
have-
certain someone.
I feel I just Ridley Scott's not my favorite, so you know.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
No,
He's
he's
just
just
kind of annoying.
He's just kind of like a
Yeah.
I think the best word is like a
Oh no,
jackass.
I was just trying to say. I was just about to say I don't know if I've seen anything that he's made.
You're like, oh, I don't.
Nope.
Let me try to find the right word, and then just make it
Jackass.
It's like he's just an asshole. It's just like I don't know if I've seen.
I'm
a
not saying
movie
he
of
is.
it.
I'm saying he
Kelly.
comes off like a jackass when he talks about
Yeah.
other people's stuff sometimes. So that's why I don't like him.
Hey,
I think Kelly, part of the reason that he's so angry with people is that it's like you, and they just don't watch his movies, and he gets mad about it.
Oh no no no! I've seen The Martian.
'Cause he like he always gets so mad when his movies like tank when he made like a super niche like out there. Like you took a shot, and it's okay that it whiffed. You don't
Yeah.
need to yell at audiences that they don't get it. you
Yeah.
know?
Okay, but I want to watch Thelma and Louise real bad.
Oh, that was a good one.
He's just looking up what
So-
he's
Yeah, I
done.
forgot he did that.
You know what?
She's
I've
just
seen Blade Runner.
Googling what he did.
That was him.
Yeah.
Thelma and Louise and Blade Runner.
What a
lot
guy.
going on in that guy's
They
head.
also did Black Hawk
I-
Down.
Okay.
And a beautiful mind or something, right?
He did that.
I
Oh,
think
I've
that was
seen
Ron
that.
Howard. I think that was
That
Ron
was Ron Howard. I'm
Ron
thinking of Gladiator.
Howard.
Yes, and he did Gladiator.
I seen the photo of him.
Yeah, those movies were
Confirms
too.
he fights baboons.
Matt, I totally get
Yeah.
what you're saying because, like, I know, like, Marvel's its own thing going on right now,
Yeah.
but, like, he was
Hellhole.
not
it's
vocal
always
about,
been.
like, Marvel until one of his movies tanked and then he started, like, going after audiences. It was, like, really weird. It's just kind of like a defense mechanism when people don't watch his movies, it feels. I don't know.
That's-
He keeps doing that,
It's
though.
when
But
It's
Marvel
been the-
is a hellhole.
No, I agree, but
yes.
the way he goes about talking about it is very interesting.
I feel
I,
like
yeah, go ahead.
it was when the last duel came out, which is like
Yes.
a Rashomon style medieval. Like it was clearly not going to be for everybody,
Mhm.
but then like when it didn't make very much money, he like put out a statement. Like I feel like I remember him essentially calling audiences stupid, and it's like, dude,
Whoa.
relax.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Right.
It's just
you
the way
know?
he went about it was
Nice.
not great.
Yeah.
Like I know like Jodie Foster has critiqued Marvel
I love
before
Jodie
in a like a better way than what Ridley Scott
Yeah.
did. So there's just
Yeah.
like the way he does it is very I think he's done it multiple times too. Of like
I-
so I'm like, dude, stop.
I just like his name, so
Ah,
It is a fun name.
it's a good name.
Ridley.
and
Wait a
then-
second.
And then isn't
Wait a second.
What?
Did he just name the
Ripley.
main character?
Yeah,
he just named
Ripley. Yes.
the character after himself.
This is your
What? No,
first time, really?
I didn't realize it either.
But did he not write the
Wait,
movie?
Ripley.
He didn't.
He didn't
Okay,
write
okay.
the movie. Okay, okay.
Isn't it
Yeah.
Ripley?
It's
Yeah,
Ripley.
his name
Ripley.
is Ridley,
also.
but then
It's
you
like
just put a
it's
P.
like a
just
dyslexic
turned it
person
upside
reading
down.
Ridley.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, he just put a D and it's like
yeah, it's like
Which
it's
I
like
would
if I was
respect.
trying to write Ridley Scott and it ended up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I respect.
Speaking of, sorry, Ripley came out today.
that it did.
Oh yeah.
Ripley.
Kelly, did you know? I was looking up stuff about Carol recently. I was talking to
Okay,
Luke about this.
Patricia Highsmith.
Yeah, I didn't know that she wrote The Price of Salt and Strangers on a Train
Yep.
and The Talented Mr. Ripley.
I
What
thought
a
I
li-
was the one who
what a
told you
person.
that.
You probably did. I forgot. So
Yes,
it was like
she-
rediscovering.
She wrote all of those.
That's
And there's
crazy.
multiple Ripley books. It's really impressive.
What a
She's
woman.
so cool.
Yeah.
Also, The Price of Salt is such a cool title. I don't
know.
like that they just changed it to Carol. Like,
The Price of Salt would work in 2015 too.
It's
not
such
like
a
you're-
cool
you know,
name.
Yeah.
and I kind of don't like when movies are just named after the main character.
It is a little strange. It has to be like a very specific circumstance to work,
Yeah.
right? There was a George Clooney movie that people said was good, but it was just called Michael Clayton, and so nobody saw it because they were like, "What the fuck is that?" Like,
It's like Charlie
it sounds
St.
like a
Cloud.
biopic. It's not a biopic.
You
Yeah.
don't know
Michael
Charlie
his
St.
full name.
Cloud. Is that what you
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's a good one. Good comp.
What about Mickey?
Yeah, it has to be a
Don't talk to me about Mickey, Luke. Dennis
It has-
Quaid. That's not
That's
Dennis Quaid.
Was he? No, that's the
it has
rookie.
to be a
That's a-
specific moment. It has to be a specific kind of movie
Yeah.
though.
Emma.
But like they could have named it. Well, Emma's the name of the book.
Who the fuck's in
Yeah, well, I
Mickey?
mean, like that
Yeah.
works. Anna Karenina
Yeah.
works. you
Right,
know?
yeah. It's
know.
just The Price of Salt was such a cool name.
I know.
It's
Mick-
okay, Todd.
Todd, I don't know if I've ever seen a Todd Haynes movie, but I'm
I've
aware
seen
of who he
Poison.
is. How was
I've
it?
seen Poison.
I've seen Carol.
It's a movie I would enjoy.
Oh, Luke, you've seen Carol?
I have.
Yeah,
It's
he
very
has.
good.
I didn't realize you had seen it. Dang, I need to catch up.
I want to watch it. It seems really good,
Uh,
and it's Kate and
it does.
Rooney. So
It's Kate Rooney, who are
Can't go
10 out
wrong.
of 10. Kyle Chandler
Yeah.
plays a guy named Harge.
whoa,
Oh, I'm in.
that's a
Harge sucks.
lot.
With it's set in the 50s, named Harge. That tracks.
That's a lot. Mark, you're slowly sinking lower and lower in your chair.
Sorry, I'm trying to
Who's
find
the actor in
Mickey.
Mickey?
Oh, he did sorry, Todd Haynes did
What do you do?
Velvet Goldmine, which I really want to watch,
What is that?
but it's not available anywhere. Velvet Goldmine?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Matt,
that
you
one.
would probably like it. It's inspired by like glam rock. It's fictional, but there are very clear parallels to like Iggy Pop and David Bowie.
Ah.
Ewan McGregor is in it. I really, really want to watch it, but it's not available anywhere.
You may have told me about this because this poster is kind of ringing a bell.
Yeah.
That
Nice.
sounds awesome. Is it like Almost Famous, where it's like a fake band, but it's inspired by real bands?
Probably, but like
Yeah.
the experiences in Almost Famous were real.
That is true. Sorry, this picture of Christian Bale.
Yes,
is
Christian Bale!
absolutely amazing.
Yes. So it needs to
So-
be available on somewhere.
Um,
So I can get my grubby hands on it.
Your mitts on it.
My mates.
Mark,
Mickey only has 500 reviews on IMDb. I didn't really. I had to scroll a long time after searching Mickey to find it. Let's just say that. But you know John Grisham, the author.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wrote that, like just the screenplay,
That's crazy.
not based on
What?
one of his
What?
books, not with nobody
That's
else.
weird.
It's like one of the only.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to see if he wrote anything that was like anything else that was just the screenplay and not like adapted from something he did.
It's like Overdrive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, no, actually, no, that's completely different because that's based on a short story. Forget I said.
he wrote
Creep
a
Joe.
story for
I
a
know.
different. Yeah, guys, he wrote the story for a different movie, but not screenplay. This is the only movie he ever wrote a screenplay for was Mickey,
And that's beautiful.
and that's our child.
And that's beautiful.
Mickey.
And that explains a lot.
Yes. I think mom and dad would
Hey,
just
Mickey.
buy anything at Target that had baseball on it, and a DVD, and then that became. for
Hey,
the
that one
final
was
seasons,
crazy. That was baseball mixed with crime.
That one was
Baseball and
crime. Yeah, they
crime.
were running from the IRS in that movie.
Some good stuff.
Was it like Harry Connick Jr., his dad in that movie?
Harry Connick Jr. I don't know who that is, but I've heard that name. But yes, I think it's Harry Connick Jr.
His dad.
I feel like
yes,
it's the
it was,
only
it
movie
was.
I've ever seen him in.
Yes. Oh, he was in The Iron Giant. And he was.
Oh yeah, he's like the main. He's the voice of like the guy who
Oh.
runs the junkyard.
That's a good movie. That's good animation.
That is a
I-
good movie.
I heard a song today that was in the Iron Giant, and it made me think of the Iron Giant, and I was happy. Oh, speaking of songs, I listened to Prelude to Ecstasy in its entirety,
Yeah.
and I liked it.
Yay!
I
What's your
wanted you to
favorite song?
guess. I wanted you to
Oh, do
guess
you
what
want us
my
to
favorite
guess?
song was.
Oh
Sinner.
shoot.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Luke's is on your side, which also makes
Oh,
a
that's
lot
a
of
good one.
sense.
A lot of good songs.
Yes, Sinner. It makes a lot of sense. That's your favorite. I'm glad you
Um,
liked it.
I also liked a lot the Feminine Urge.
Yep, that's one of my favorites, if not my
uh,
favorite.
Nothing Matters. Is that the single they had the first?
Yes.
Okay. And My Lady of Mercy. I
Yeah,
thought was
hell yeah.
also really cool. And Burn Alive.
I was about to
there's
say,
a lot of
that's-
good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
I like all the songs. That makes me so happy. I'm glad you listened to them.
I listened to it the day after we had that podcast. I listened to it on the way to work mostly, and I was like, okay, like it was really good. I couldn't wait to tell you.
That's awesome. We see
What-
them next weekend.
Yes.
Hell yeah,
When you
that's
listen to the album in order, when
Yeah.
Jua leads into Sinner, it's really
Ooh,
good.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
piano.
Oh yeah, it's really well.
Mark,
Yeah.
I recommend you give them a shot. They're good.
I will. You just need to text me so I remember what it is.
Yeah, right.
But I will eventually when I like drive myself to work. But I've been trying to press
It'll-
Yeah.
play on my audiobook
It'll be
every
easy.
time I drive.
They
'Cause I
only
won't
have
make
one
progress
album, so
ever
it'll be easy
Yeah.
to catch up.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Any other Dune? Okay.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hmm.
I have something to admit.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
first off, who wrote Dune?
Frank Herbert.
Frank Herbert. So I thought that guy was L. Ron Hubbard. for the
No,
longest
no.
time. It
He,
wasn't. I
invented
just got their names
Scientology.
mixed up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mark. He created. I thought that this guy created
I
Scientology.
know. Well, but wasn't L. Ron Hubbard a science fiction author?
Yes, that's why I
Correct.
thought so.
Yeah.
So I thought that he created Scientology until
It makes
like
sense.
pretty recently.
Kelly, if I'm being honest with you, if it had been
Yeah.
written by L. Ron Hubbard, I would not be reading the books. I refuse.
I know. Well, that's why I was like, there's something off. I was like, well, no, because I saw the name. What was it? Frank Herbert.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the guy who invented
Hubbard.
Scientology. Hubbard.
Yeah. It's Herbert
Well, L. Ron
Hubbard.
Hubbard. Yes. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's the guy who invented Scientology. And then they're like, I was like, why is this person posting about Scientology? No, they were posting. It was Kyle MacLachlan. I was like, he's not a Scientologist. It was like, oh no, he's posting about Dune. Oh, that's the guy who invented Dune. Oh, then who's the guy who did in Scientology? Oh, L. Ron Hubbard. They're not the same guy. Thought they were the same guy.
Did you know that in the Twin Peaks books that I mentioned before, L. Ron Hubbard there goes into depth about L. Ron Hubbard.
That is so funny. But I had to get
pretty
that
good.
off my
There's
chest.
deep
I'm
lore.
glad I was wrong.
Did that
Yeah. I'm
influence
glad
your
they're two
feelings
different
towards
guys.
Dune at all?
No.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Darn, I was hoping she would be on board now.
It was just. Oh, I am. I told you. I decided I like Dune now.
Oh yes, right.
Dune's good now.
As we were doing this podcast.
We're chill now. Yeah, we're chill. We got over our beef.
Yeah, it's just sand. All it is sand. It's pretty good.
It's spice.
That's true. There's spice.
Get
in
it
the
right.
sand.
See,
What?
you're a fake fan.
But what I'm
a bigger
saying
fan
is
than
like he
you.
wrote, and it was just like a sand planet. It's just sand everywhere. What do? There's just sand. Now there's spice in it.
You go crazy.
And then if you consume too much of it, you become a
Crazy.
giant worm in the sky.
Hell yeah, you do.
And
yeah.
and if you're God Emperor of Dune, you're half worm, half human hybrid for some reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah, how did that happen?
Now
don't
I just
wanna-
thought of that. I don't
Yeah.
want to think about it. It just is.
It makes sense. I swear.
In the book.
It explains it.
Is it?
It also what's weird is
I
that
don't know.
it's I'm not gonna give anything away, but it's not out of nowhere. It is like a logical progression, which sounds weird out of context.
Like evolution.
Yeah, it's like where
That
the
old
story
thing?
went, it made sense.
Okay,
Where it's
so
like
it's not
okay,
just
okay, sure.
a person with a worm, and yeah, okay.
It's not just like it came out of
Mark,
nowhere.
You're
yeah.
nasty. No, Mark's talking about fucking a worm.
Hey,
What is talking about the progression of the books that the plot point didn't come out of nowhere. Mark is talking about fucking a worm.
I'm trying
We're
to
on
make
two
sure. I'm
different-
trying to make sure that that's not what was written in that book. Was that
No.
it had anything to do with a worm and a human?
No,
Then we're
it's
good.
not a sexual reproduction.
Then we're good.
They weren't in a sexual relationship.
That's all
There were no
I wanted
feelings.
to know. Jeez, getting attacked over here.
Is it more of a splice situation?
I have not seen that movie. Is that a good movie?
Oh, I wasn't talking about the movie.
Oh, there's a
I haven't seen the
2009
movie.
horror movie called Splice.
Yeah, I forgot.
Oh, okay. But yes, more like a splice situation, but not really.
Great.
yeah, yeah.
Good to know. Does anyone else have anything else about Dune?
No.
I'm gonna get off of this podcast and be so mad because of something I forgot to say. I'm
Oh.
sure, but I can't remember anything at the moment.
I would
Yeah.
recommend this movie. I think
Yeah.
people should just go and watch it.
I think
Go
you
and
should.
watch it.
The only thing I wish would have happened was when they're all fighting at the end. I wanted all of them to put on their suits, like
Yeah.
like
still suits.
this, where they would all be blocky, like, and I thought
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what was gonna like.
Oh,
That's what I wanted to happen, but beggars can't be choosers. I like this movie a lot. I like it for the wrong
A
reasons.
lot?
Yeah, I do actually. I keep
Nice.
thinking
I
about
like
this
it.
movie. It's just like I don't know why.
It's fun.
It's fun, and it's just like
'Cause
a
it's
very
fun.
short version of the exact same things I just watched, which is like
No.
just so funny to me that the way they make it quicker is inner monologues, and they just tell you what they're thinking at all times. It's so funny.
Yes.
I had one more thought that I have to bring up. Whoever decided that the soundtrack should be by Toto.
Oh yeah,
oh,
that's crazy.
What a weird choice. I
That was
love it.
great. That's so good.
There's the
You're
that
right, and you know what?
one
They
big
were going
fuck up.
ham.
Oh, they
At
tried
points,
hard.
they were going ham. They tried hard.
Yeah.
That was so backhanded.
No, I mean I do think it's good. I meant that like
Yeah.
I feel like you could really phone it in on something like this, but they're like, nah, we're gonna do this for real.
That's good stuff. Yes.
Good point, Matt. I forgot about that.
I
That's
totally
so
forgot.
funny. When it came up at the
I was like-
opening credits, I was like, okay.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I think that's it. All right, Luke, do you have your? Wait, we have to rank this first, and then Luke has to do his movie.
Oh
again.
my gosh.
I made
Kelly,
a decision,
Guess
by the
what
way.
I have it right
Yeah.
here. It's my girdle.
Woo.
My
Good.
back is in so much pain. Okay. Go on. You guys fill.
Phil?
What were those things? I don't know what those machines were that made their voices go bah and break rocks, but what the fuck was that?
It was good.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, no, they like talked, and then it made the gun shoot
Yeah, I was like,
properly. If they,
Yes. I guess
Oh,
I was
yeah.
lost at that part too.
I don't know.
Also,
I
his
don't know
name-
What that was.
His name like was a
Oh.
power.
Yes.
Oh wait,
yeah.
when they were like
The
thoughts
Usul.
are have power.
Yeah, it was-
Also, I don't know. I can't remember how they did in the movie, but it seemed like flipped from Dune Part 2, where Usul and Mao Adib came from. Like it seemed
Yeah.
like they were saying Muad'Dib was like little mouse, but Usul wasn't. But in the new one, Usul, I don't know. They were
What?
just throwing out both of those names
So
out of like
In
from
the-
that point on.
yeah, in the Fremen
whatever.
language, Muad'Dib is just the sand mouse.
Mhm.
But it's like imprinted in the face of the second moon. It looks like the mouse, so it's like almost like a reverent thing.
Mhm.
Like it's like lore, you know. So it's like, but like you can survive in the desert. This mouse always survives with like hardly any water.
But I
so.
thought that's what Usul was in the new one. I thought they're saying that's what
Usul's
Usul
like-
meant.
Usul means pillar, I believe. It's like strength. It's like the base. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I must be misremembering it because I swear in Dune Part 2 they said Usul meant small mouse. So that's why I got confused. Whoa.
Oh, change your perception.
Ugh.
You're wrong. Okay, now.
It's either that or I'm getting gaslit. It's fine.
Yeah, that could be. Could be.
Disturbing. Our options are Secondhand Lions, Max Keeble's Big Move, But I'm a Cheerleader, and Dune.
Oh wait, don't we already have the other ones like listed in an order, or do we?
Yeah, how did we have them? We never wrote them
Oh,
down
we never wrote
anywhere.
it down. Okay.
But we didn't add Dune, and we didn't add Dune. And
No, I
so
know. I
Dune
thought we
will
were
be
gonna
in
add
another-
it to the existing list of like we already
Dune,
ranked these
you know what?
top to bottom.
No, I write in pen.
Okay.
I think Dune gets number 1 specifically because
Or
of the thing at the
the
beginning with
Ghost
the...
over Max
Yeah.
Keeble?
It's
Disturbing.
tough.
I think-
It's really tough.
Okay, but
It's really
like,
tough.
Max
McGoogle's
Keeble?
McGoogle's
Ooh,
is
that's a good point.
disturbing.
I think just the character of the principal.
Yes.
the
Yes,
principal
right.
bringing
I
it
give
out.
that.
Okay,
I
that
give it to
wins.
Max Keeble,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
Dune.
And then Dune.
Over
and then...
Secondhand Lions?
Yes, I would do it over
I'm saying that
Secondhand Lions.
Yeah.
I think Secondhand Lions is pretty disturbing.
Sometimes.
Okay. Max Keeble's Big Move. Dune. Are we happy with that?
For
Putting Max
yes,
Keeble over
yeah.
Dune?
Yep.
Yep.
And then Secondhand Lions, and then But I'm a Cheerleader?
Yep.
And then Problematic.
Secondhand Lions.
Secondhand Lions.
Still
Oh.
doesn't hold a candle to what one last? What was the
Charlie.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Interview with the Vampire.
Interview
No,
with the-
for Problematic. Interview with the Vampire.
We had two pretty good
So,
ones
interview.
going on in the first
We
one.
had two pretty problematic ones last week. Okay. Secondhand Lions.
Lions. Max Keeble's Big Move.
Over
Yeah.
Dune?
Max
Yeah.
Keeble's had a couple of different like racial
weren't that-
things.
They
weren't
weren't.
that bad. But like, what did Dune do? Oh, Dune made all the characters that were supposed to be like Middle Eastern, all white.
Mm.
So that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So maybe that might win out above that.
Yeah.
They took. I don't know if it's problematic, but they took away Chani's
Well,
entire character, which doesn't
that-
rub me the
yeah.
right way.
Right.
I don't know if it's problematic. It just kind of sucks.
Right.
This is gonna become a contest of like, what's more problematic?
Who's the word?
Is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
this or
yeah.
is it
This is
this?
not. We're going down a
We're
bad
going down a
route.
bad route. This could get testy.
Not
Should we
good.
get
I
rid of
can
the
see
category?
Is racism or sexism?
Maybe.
worse? That's
We
what we're
might
getting
need to
toward.
get rid of that.
We might want to get
I'll
rid
say
of it.
Dune's more problematic.
We might want to.
No. Now that you said no, Dune, and then Max Keebles, and then But I'm a
And then
Cheerleader.
cheerleader.
Okay, gay.
I don't know.
If Dune would have had those titty windows,
What?
we'd be having a different story.
Where the fuck were they? So it was just in a promo. That's my main problem. Or they were in a scene that got cut, and I can't believe it.
Probably. Yeah.
But the titty windows.
Yes, Luke.
Oh my god.
But I'm a Cheerleader, number 1.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2, Dune.
Dune?
Dune.
Yes.
yeah.
The whole vibe.
And then we were gonna toss.
We were gonna flip a coin.
Yeah.
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 Who has
Between-
a coin?
Max Keeble and Secondhand Lions?
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
Secondhand line.
Secondhand Lions.
Secondhand Lions.
Yeah.
and then Max Keeble.
Not necessarily with them, they're brothers, but just their whole vibe.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
vibes, yeah.
Yeah. We figured
So
it out.
with them. Okay.
No, not together.
No.
But it's like they've definitely had their whole thing
Oh,
is
of
that
course.
they've had
Of course, yours.
experiences.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Okay, sad. Secondhand Lions.
Lions.
Secondhand Lions.
But I'm a cheerleader.
But I'm a cheerleader.
But I'm a
Yeah.
cheerleader.
Over Dune.
And then
But I'm a
Dune
cheerleader.
and Max
Dude,
Keeble.
and
cheerleader.
Max
And then Max Keeble.
Okay, Unhinged. Max Keeble's
Max
big
Keeble.
move. Now
Max
it gets a little
Keeble's-
hard.
It,
I would say,
it
Yes.
could be
Unhinged.
Dune.
Dude.
I was gonna say
Okay,
Dune.
Dune.
Guys, if you rearrange the letters in Dune, you spell nude.
You're correct.
Kelly's fully on board now.
Actually, I loved it. I loved what Ron Hubbard was going for when he wrote Dune. Oh, I love his vision. Okay. Okay. Max Keeble's big move. Dune. But I'm a cheerleader.
then-
Secondhand
Yeah,
Lions.
yeah.
Yes.
Which is crazy because Secondhand Lions is pretty unhinged.
We just like unhinged movies.
Yeah.
This round.
Yes, true.
Okay, so we have our two winners of the first two rounds. I'm not gonna put them against each other yet,
No.
though,
Okay,
because
we need more of
We
a
need
sample
more.
size.
I don't know how to seed.
Seed.
Ew. I don't know how to seed things, but I'll try my best.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't know what that implies, but
I don't
it's
know
just
either.
like if I think that a movie is going to win the big honcho the whole tournament, I'll put them on two different sides
Okay.
Smart.
or something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Luke, you ready
Okay.
for your movie?
Wow. Yeah, Luke.
Ready.
Oh, he has it.
Can we
Are you doing any kind
we
of
guess?
like guess? What do you want to do? You want us to guess? You want to like build up to it? You just want to say it?
Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh,
Yay! That's a good one. I like that pick.
just read out a list to Luke of movies I wrote down for movies of us to watch together, and I read out loud Little Miss Sunshine, and he didn't have a single reaction to it, and that's why.
Ah,
Because it's the movie he was picking. We mind melded, dude. That's a great pick.
That is a great pick. I had to watch that movie for a class.
Oh, so you've
And-
seen it?
Yeah, it was for a screenwriting class. It was like an example of like,
Whoa.
hey, screenwriting. Yeah,
Mark, have
Hey.
you seen it?
no.
Okay, so three of us haven't seen it.
it's yeah.
Ooh, fun.
Ooh, I also wanted to bring up great pick, Luke.
Yes.
Katie had an idea. If we ever get to the point where we're having trouble picking movies, she's like, you guys could do like a, hey, this month is like a category. Like this month is
Ooh.
werewolf movies, or like this one
I might need
is
that. I might
That's
need
also
you know,
fun.
romantic.
Oh, I have a
comedies,
lot
you
of
know.
I have a lot of picks, Luke, so if you need inspiration,
Yeah.
there's also that, but that's also a very fun idea.
Sometimes I have the problem with like too many options and I don't know what to do.
Mm.
So at some point it may be helpful to be like, hey, let's try to, or like even more broad, it could even be like movies from the 80s, you know, this month.
yeah.
Or
Movies
whatever.
from
Well-
1992, the year Secret
1999.
History was published
Okay.
by Donna Tartt.
God.
One of the things we did think were like, what about movies that came out the month or the day that we're doing the podcast? Wouldn't that be crazy? But there's like,
Ooh, you
Uh,
guys are
sometimes there's not
just
good
playing
options.
chess.
We're
I feel like
"Ooh,
I feel
I
like
know."
That's so
I'm
fun.
on Kelly's page too, where I have like a lot that I want to do, but it depends on how
Yeah.
long we keep it up. Because if we keep it up, then we're gonna need
Exactly.
it. So
I
Yep.
thought I
That's a good
should
idea.
bring it up in case we
That's
ever
awesome.
get to the point where we feel like, yeah.
That's such a good idea. Well, it's your turn next week, buddy.
Bucko.
That it is.
Bucko,
Ah.
weather boy. Sorry.
What?
Okay.
No, I don't want to talk about
I'm
it.
ending it. Little Miss Sunshine on Hulu for next week.
Good pick.
Go pick. Okay.
Thank you.
Go watch Dune.
Bye.
Do
The old one.